What's going on, folks? And thank you for tuning in with me to another edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. Before we get started on anything else, I want to remind everybody this is episode number 576. Episode number 576 for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And before we get into anything else, I'd like to ask each and every one of you that are listening to me right now live, spread this show link around like wildfire and let everybody know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house, and we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And baby, I love being independent. You type in your browser right now, add it to your bookmarks, add it to your favorites. The official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast is ghost.report. All right, that's as simple as that. It's all you got to type in your browser, ghost.report. And you can find the True Capitalist Radio broadcast live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Or you can go and listen to the archives. That's right, we got archives on there as well, folks. So, by all means, ghost.report. Make sure to look at it. Make sure to go by it. And, of course, if you're listening live, make sure to contact the stream via that damn website. All right? It's as simple as that. Now, one more thing. I want to remind everybody to please follow me on my only social media representation on the Internet, and that is on Gab, folks, all right? You type in your browser right now, gab.ai, and if you haven't gotten a free social media account at this particular social media site, I don't know why you have not, folks. I mean, I'm telling you, this is the last bastion of freedom of speech in social media today, so get yourself an account there, and once you do, follow me on there under the name Politics Ghost. All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow on there. And I want to give a shout out to everybody right now. What's going on to everybody right now in the True Capitalist Radio chat room? I'm looking at it. It's a packed house in there tonight. What's going on? I'm looking at you. I see you, baby. And by the way, if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, all you've got to do is go to my Gab account. It's as simple as that, all right? Go to my Gab. Check out my Gab. Go to my Gab account, Politics Ghost, and hit the subscribe button for premium content, all right? Hit the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do, give me a private message and let me know your Discord chat name. And like I said, give me a private message on Gab. On Gab. And once you do, give me your Discord chat name, and I will make sure to give you a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. Now that we've got that all out of the way, let's go ahead and get down to business, all right? It's Wednesday. Episode number 576. It is June 6, 2018. Let's go ahead and get down to business. Now, before we get into the crypto and stocks talk, I want to go ahead and talk a little bit about this, what is this broad's name? Kate Spade? Am I saying this correctly? Kate Spade. Now, for you folks that have been living under a rock and don't know what I'm talking about, this Kate Spade, I had no idea who the hell this broad was, but apparently she was some big handbag designer and then designed some other things, or I don't know. I don't really give a shit about that kind of crap, but anyway, she apparently committed suicide yesterday at the age of 55, leaving a 13-year-old daughter and a husband behind. And little did I know that the husband of this Kate Spade is actually David Spade's older brother. You know, the little ferret comedian David Spade, you know, he used to do combo bits with Chris Farley, you know, that guy. Now, the reason I want to go and lead in with this right away is because this should show everyone something, okay? One thing I want you to notice is this. These people, if you have not seen a damn photograph of these people, please look it up. Kate Spade and her husband, they are your quintessential hipster, liberal, leftist caricatures in a physical capacity. I mean, you know what I'm saying, folks. They have the glasses. They had the little pompous liberal look, you know, the bourgeoisie, champagne socialist type of look. And the reason that I'm bringing this up because they're obviously liberal pieces of trash. And I want you all to know something about liberals. Liberals, to be honest with you folks, are very sick people in the head. They carry a lot of deep, dark secrets. A lot of deep, dark secrets. Case in point, folks, if you take a look at the Obamas, we all know that Michelle Obama is not a goddamn woman, for Christ's sake. That broad looks like she could play the linebacker at the San Francisco 49ers. Don't give me that shit! And we all know that the kids that they supposedly bore together are not their natural children, folks. I mean, listen, give me one. I have said this for fucking 8 years. Give me one photo with Michelle Obama pregnant. One. So there's a lot of deep, dark secrets in the Obama family, okay? And that's not including Obama. I mean, lest we forget that Obama, the reason that he wanted to keep his birth certificate secret was not because he wanted to expose himself from being born somewhere else. I believe he was born in Hawaii. The thing is, who was his real father? Was it this extremely dark black African man that he assumed his name, Barack Obama Sr.? Or was it, like everyone has speculated who has done any kind of investigative research on Obama, was it the infamous communist Frank Marshall Davis? Okay? Now, lest we forget that Frank Marshall Davis was not only a communist, but he was also a pornographer. And Frank Marshall Davis took pictures of Barack Obama's mother in, I guess, Betty Page-esque type of fashion. And believe it or not, folks, and this was all documented by a documentary movie maker named Joel Gilbert. The name of the documentary was called Dreams of My Real Father. What they found out was that Barack Obama's mother, when posing in these Betty Page-type centerfold pornographic spreads, for lack of a better term, the woman that was there in the same picture in this lesbian-esque type of Betty Page pose, if you will, was none other than the wife of the comedian Lenny Bruce. Now, if you folks are not familiar with Lenny Bruce was the first comedian to begin to really use stand-up to be filthy and vulgar. I mean, it was so bad. This was during like the early 60s, before this type of stuff was even accepted in a public forum. He would say all these really nasty, dirty jokes, you know, four-letter words. I mean, to the point in which Lenny Bruce would get arrested. He got arrested several times. And the reason I bring all this up, folks, is because, once again, there's a lot of dark secrets in the Obama history that are just being uncovered by those that are investigating these people intently. And these secrets, as they continue to be uncovered, I mean, those are pretty dark secrets. Take a look. Let's stop talking about the Obamas for a little bit. Let's talk about the Bill and Hillary Clinton combine, if you will. This mutual agreement that they've had. Take a look at those secrets that the Bill and Hillary Clinton combine, the crime family, that they have to live with and keep for the rest of their lives. We all know that Chelsea Clinton is not Bill Clinton's daughter. Give me a break. We all know that that's Ron Hubbell's daughter. Let's stop fucking around about this crap. But you see, once again, these liberals, they insist on like having these deep, dark secrets and continuing to live with them. I mean, take a look at what Hillary Clinton had to put up with on Bill's side. Having to sexually abuse, physically and sexually, women, and have to stand by this pervert, have to defend this pervert. I mean, listen, lest we forget, folks, Hillary Clinton was not only just defending Bill Clinton. This broad was out here being his henchman, sending goons after these women that were alleging that Bill Clinton was out here sexually abusing them. I mean, lest we forget Kathleen Willey. had a goon from one of Hillary Clinton's, who the hell knows who she's doing business with, had one of Hillary Clinton's goons come up to her and kill her cat. I mean, I could go on and on, folks. Why am I bringing all this up? I'm bringing all this up, folks, because why do these liberals carry all these secrets? Why are they individuals that will continue on amidst all this really, really dark, especially when it comes to family, secrets in which people have to pretend that they're daughters of someone they're not, have to pretend that they're children from someone they're not, having to pretend that they're married to someone they don't really love, etc. This is the basis of every liberal, leftist, communist, socialist relationship. I mean, it all goes back to Karl Marx, okay? Karl Marx, folks, believe it or not, didn't do a goddamn thing his whole life except write down a bunch of rhetoric. That's all he did. And he attended the First and Second International and usurped the International, and now it's a communist staple. But that's all he did. So how did he support himself? Well, Karl Marx was supported by his best friend, the guy who's usually idolized next to him, Friedrich Engels. Friedrich Engels was, a born noble. This guy had money. He was born into money, but he thought he was cool by running with a risque political agitator like Karl Marx. And whenever Friedrich Engels could not support Karl Marx would send his wife, Jenny, out to prostitute herself so that they can continue to maintain sustenance. This is an absolute fact, folks. And this is why the left and liberals and communists and socialists, they live with this type of cuckery type of secrecy. I mean, Karl Marx lived with it. He sent his fucking wife out there to pimp her ass just so that this stupid bearded asshole could continue to fucking produce his stupid, dumb leftist communist rhetoric. And you see, folks, at the end of Marx's life, there's a picture of Marx circulating in which he's at the latter part of his years, and he's surrounded by this big, huge family that are supposed to be his children. And, folks, if you observe that picture of Karl Marx, when he's an old fart, and Jenny's right there, and all the children Jenny had is around him, none of them look like Marx. Why? Because Marx sent his fucking wife out there to pimp her ass while this idiot was being a lazy prick, a typical communist. And you see, folks, this is why on the left you have a lot of these acceptances of dark secrets of this capacity. Now we get back to Kate Spade, okay? Kate Spade, your quintessential leftist liberal stereotype. The glasses, I mean, even her husband, I mean, good God, these people, I mean, they were literally living the facade of whatever it is to be a liberal hipster, quote unquote, okay? And what really gets me is this, is that even though they have their little friends, they have their little socialist get-togethers, they have their social circles, they embody the leftist stereotype, they do the whole leftist, I guess, formalities and protocol, these people at some point either do one of two things. They either become like Barack Obama and Michelle Obama and Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, complete and total psychopaths, and they just accept whatever the hell's happening and they accept it as a part of normalcy in their lives. Or they end up like Kate Spade, in which they realize that their whole world, this whole leftist, communist, socialist, liberal caricature, this archetype, this stereotype is a bunch of bullshit. It's a lie. It's godless. It's conformity to nothingness. And that's what people, you either go one of two ways when it comes to leftism. Either you become a full-blown psychopath and you just accept whatever's going. And that's, I mean, you want to talk about a grade A psychopath. I mean, take a look at Bill Clinton. Take a look at Barack Obama. I mean, Barack Obama literally will tell you one thing and do the complete opposite and then come back to you and claim, well, it was your fault that I had to do this. I mean, this is how psychopath this man is. Same thing with Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton's his complete lack of empathy can be shown here recently when he tried to play the victim when being questioned about the Monica Lewinsky incident and whether or not he apologized to her. I mean, this has been in the news as of late. He's trying to play himself out to be the victim. When he got initially questioned on this was, I believe, sometime this weekend, he was asked about, the Monica Lewinsky thing and what kind of legacy and whether, it would be acceptable in Me Too, whatever the case might be. And he played the victim by saying, well, I left the White House, $16 million in debt because I had to pay all the legal fees from all the women I was raping. I mean, I'm the victim here. I'm Bill Clinton. I'm Slick Willie. I mean, I left the White House $16 million in debt. All them lawyers are not cheap. All these women that I raped, I got to shut them up somehow. I mean, can you believe? That's what I'm telling you about these people that are on the left. These people that are on the left are legitimately out of their fucking minds. That's why they all conform to this stereotype with the little hipster glasses and, the whole caricature of being this liberal, pompous look and this lifestyle and this act. And when they realize that their nothingness is 13 steps to nowhere, they do one of two things, and I mentioned it before. They either become a psychopath and live with it, or they do a Kate Spade and off themselves because they can't believe how long of a life they've wasted with this stupid, ridiculous idea. And where is this all derived from? Aside from it deriving from Marx, this whole cuckery and accepting dark secrets and accepting other people's seed as your own and all this other shit. Aside from that, folks, it all derives from atheism. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of you so-called wannabe sophisticated assholes out there that are rolling your eyes because I'm blaming atheism, but let's just be honest. Atheism isn't adherent to leftism, to communism, to socialism. I mean, you have to be an atheist in order to be a good communist, a good socialist, a good liberal, a good leftist. I mean, you can't tell me that's a lie. Now, why would they want each and every one of their subjects godless? Because, folks, I've said this many times. Our Bill of Rights, our Constitution, was not given to us by our forefathers. It was given to us by God. And that's what our forefathers understood. That God did not anoint the monarchs to sustain their posterity. God gave every man equal rights. And those rights are eloquently defined in the Bill of Rights. No man gives us those rights. Those rights are given to us by God. Because lest we forget, I just mentioned it, that's what the monarchs suggested, remember? The monarchs suggested that they had divine right to power. Divine right to power because God anointed them and their bloodline and their lineage to rule until the end of time. That's why our country is so unique amongst the whole array of other countries in the world. We were the only people to realize that God didn't anoint monarchs to have supreme authority over the people, that God anointed the people to have supreme authority over those that ruled them. And that's why this government is made for the people and by the people. And we should cherish it. We should preserve it. We should try to preserve it by any means necessary. And folks, getting back to the whole liberal Kate Spade thing, when you are godless, when you live for nothing but dialectic materialism, which is the foundation philosophy for Marxism and socialism, then you yourself become a soulless piece of trash that looks at yourself in the mirror and sees nothing more than a pile of protoplasm. Whenever you look in the mirror, because you're a godless, atheist, socialist, communist subject, you don't see anything in that mirror other than material. And you see, that's what our forefathers didn't want, because once you believe that you are not something created by God, then that justifies, on a moral and ethical sense, man dictating the conduct of other men. And that's why the adherent of atheism and communism is glued together. And that's why you have these people committing suicide. And that's exactly why, if you want my opinion, that's why Kate Spade killed herself. Kate Spade killed herself because she realized that everything that she lived for was an utter lie. Now, of course, everything that I'm talking about as it relates to Kate Spade's life is my opinion, and I'm just speculating based upon what I've read. But this woman was 55 years old, had a handbag line, sold it off, made a bunch of money, reestablished another designer line that was named after her daughter, and for whatever reason, she decided that she was going to kill herself, I guess yesterday or day before yesterday, by tying a scarf around her neck and tying it to the edge of a door, which is what these people who do this autoerotic asphyxiation fetish, or whatever the fuck it is, you know, the David Carradine thing, you know what I'm talking about, right? The old David Carradine. That's how she decided to kill herself. And in the suicide, folks, I cannot believe, I mean, this is just unbelievable. In the suicide note read the following: B, which is her daughter's middle name. B, this had nothing to do with you, or no, excuse me. B, I always loved you. This had nothing to do with you. Go ask your daddy. That's the suicide note. That's the suicide note. Now, reports were coming out that Kate Spade's husband was about to file divorce on her or something to that capacity. The old man, Kate Spade's husband's come out and denied those reports and suggested that they were just living separated, but were not in the process of getting divorced, that they were just living separate from, different houses, but they lived on the same street. They were having family dinners together, family vacations, whatever. But as I alluded to you all in the beginning of this particular soliloquy on Kate Spade, you know there's deep, dark secrets within that family. You know there's deep, dark secrets when you are a caricature, because that's what these people were. Take a look at a picture of these people. These people were a caricature of leftism. I mean, this is what all leftist, liberal, hipster pieces of bourgeois shit, this is what they all look like. They take on this conformity of, like, glasses and, looking like real meek and, making sure that you're fashionably pertinent and, shit like that. All that material with godlessness couldn't save Kate Spade, couldn't it? According to the reports that come out about the husband claimed that she was, quote, battling demons. And yet the husband said that she had no alcohol problem, no problem with drugs. She just had depression for the past 5 years. Now, why in the hell would she have depression in the past 5 years when she's living the quintessential leftist, liberal, bourgeois, champagne socialist dream? Because as I stated, folks, there's something deep, dark, and secret. Whatever that woman killed herself and took herself to the grave with, that's what happens to all leftist, liberal, communist, socialist couples, friendships, relationships, etc. And that's why you can't trust these people. These people are godless. These people are godless. And when they're godless, then they themselves are not worth anything to themselves. They themselves are worthless to themselves. And if they themselves are worthless to themselves and they're influential to a mass amount of people, what are they actually relaying to those mass amounts of people? You see, folks, I mean, this is something that needs to be discussed and talked about. And I'm telling you this right now, if you're a leftist, if you're a communist and a socialist, you know that what I'm telling you is ringing some fucking bells. You know it's sparking synapses in your fucking brains right now. This is one nation. What you're living in. If you're a United States citizen, this is one nation under God. And why is it one nation under God? Because when this nation when it's no longer a nation under God, you've got the EU. A bunch of godless, childless bureaucrats who take control of a people. And there's nothing the people can do about it because, folks, as I explained to you, and then I'm going to move on to crypto and stocks. I'm not going to, beat a dead horse with this, but I want to remind everybody the philosophy of communists and socialists. The philosophy is dialectic materialism. Now, we all know dialectics. Dialectics is a philosophy created by Hegel. And I want to be honest with you, I actually subscribe to the Hegelian dialectic. But it wasn't until Marx got a hold of the Hegelian dialectic, it wasn't until Marx got a hold of the Hegelian dialectic and added materialism to the philosophy. Now, for all those folks that don't understand what Hegelian dialectics is, it is the philosophy in which there is a current perception right now, okay? Now, this perception that we have in our current society, this perception is going to have contradictions exposed to create another perception, creating another reality. And then when we're in that perception and in that reality, contradictions will expose that reality and perception, hence moving forward to another perception and reality, and so forth. Now, what Hegel believed, that through this process of Hegelian dialectics, at some point in time, we would get down to the point where we have a contradictionless society. But it will take hundreds, maybe thousands of years before we get to the reality in which we've exposed all contradictions. Now, what Marx believed and what communists now believe is that, yeah, they believe in the Hegelian dialectic, but they believe that they can physically facilitate the rapid development of the Hegelian dialectic through the dictatorship of the proletariat. Meaning that they're not going to wait for the evolutionary process of one contradiction exposing the contradictions within one reality, then going into another perception, and then exposing the contradictions in that perception, and then going on to another etc. They don't want to wait for that. Communists don't want to wait. They want the Hegelian dialectic, and they want it now. So what do? They take control and centralize every aspect of a geopolitical area. And they force the Hegelian dialectic by any means at a more rapid pace. I mean, case in point, let's take a look at China. China, when Mao Zedong took over the country of China, he called for an economic policy called the Great Leap Forward. Now, at the time when Mao Zedong had taken over China, China was an agrarian economy. It was a peasant-based economy and definitely was not even at an inkling towards modernity. But Mao, by force, forced everybody who was farming to create steel and aluminum and ore iron and all this bullshit, and forced the rapid facilitation of industrialization in China, and it cost, 20 million Chinese lives to do it. So he sacrificed 20 million Chinese lives for the Great Leap Forward so he could rapidly facilitate the Hegelian dialectic so that he could change China's economy and its perception from an agrarian peasant-based mentality to a more modern, Great Leap Forward-esque modernization. That's just one example. That's one example of the Hegelian dialectic materialism, which is Marx's philosophy. Dialectic materialism. Because why did Mao Zedong kill those 20 million people? Because, folks, under the philosophy of a godless Marx, a godless communism, people are material. That's why they added materialism to dialectic. Dialectic materialism, the philosophy of communists. Everything is material. Everything, including people. People are nothing more than the material that create buildings or, that create statues. I mean, this is why communists have no qualms in killing massive amounts of people, because they believe that they're facilitating in a rapid capacity the Hegelian dialectic. So anyway, I didn't mean to get off on a freaking tirade about the Hegelian dialectic and all this stuff, but I hope that you all understand that whenever you see these quintessential blowhard, champagne socialist, caricature, hipster, liberal, leftist jerk dicks, know that they're either trying to get by and keep their sanity until they kill themselves like Kate Spade, or they become a complete and total Obama, Bill Clinton-esque psychopath. I mean, those are the personality types that culminate from liberalism and leftism. I mean, you can't deny this. You can't deny it, man. Anyway, look, I'm going to move on. My apologies for getting in on this soliloquy about all this, but it needs to be said. And by the way, I feel sorry for the daughter, Frances Beatrice Spade. My thoughts and prayers are with you because, I mean, I could only imagine being a 13-year-old girl and being told that this fucking note, which was a fucking 2-sentence note, and it's not your fault, B. Go ask your daddy. I mean, what? You got to live with that for the rest of your life? I mean, good God. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about some finance here. Let's talk about cryptocurrencies. Now, folks, what happened today in the U.S. dollar? Let's talk about the U.S. dollar spot index. We saw the dollar go down as low today alone, down 0.50% at one point. Now, what have I been telling you? As we start seeing this gradual incremental decrease in the U.S. index spot, that we're going to see that reflected in the cryptocurrency markets, and that's exactly what's been happening as of late. We've been just slowly, incrementally taking off value off the dollar. There's a lot of reasons for that. Trump's tariffs, a lot of this blowhard bullshit coming out from the other countries, which we're going to talk about here at the end of the show, because I want to go into extensive detail about how and why these tariffs are long overdue for this country, and the arrogance of these other countries thinking that we're just supposed to be their goddamn like they're spendaholics to continue to make their countries rich or something. These arrogant fucks. Excuse my French. But anyway, once again, we saw some decreases in the value of the U.S. dollar. It is currently being reflected in the cryptocurrency markets, folks. The current market capitalization for the entire cryptocurrency market right now is $345 billion. $345 billion market capitalization for the entire cryptocurrency market. All right, $345 billion, a hell of a long way from the 305 we were at about a week ago or a week and a half ago. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these cryptos here. Let's take a look at Bitcoin, symbol BTC. Current market capitalization is $130 billion market capitalization. The current circulating supply is 17 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Bitcoin has gone up 0.40%. Current price for Bitcoin is $7,653.98 per Bitcoin. Now, one thing I do want to suggest, and I want to tell everybody right now in the cryptocurrency news cycle, is that we are getting incrementally, as well as, I hate to use the word incremental, but it's at a slow pace is what I'm saying. Every time I say the word incremental, that means slowly getting there. Well, cryptocurrency is slowly sneaking into the legitimacy of the investor community in the United States, Canada, and other Western nations. Good news, the SEC, the Security Exchange Commission, has appointed a cryptocurrency chief. So this just goes to show you that the SEC is taking this very legitimate. Okay? This person that is appointed the cryptocurrency chief is Valerie. Man, I'm sorry, I can't say this broad's last name. It's Sishapanic or some shish kebab. I don't know what the fuck it is. But she was appointed the new cryptocurrency chief at the Security Exchange Commission, which incrementally brings this fucking market, this cryptocurrency market of ours, even more and more into legitimacy. And another thing, y'all know Fidelity Investments? Y'all may be having some money with them. You may trade with them in the stock market, whatever the case might be. Well, news has come out that Fidelity Investments is now creating a cryptocurrency exchange of its own. So, I mean, if you happen to be a part of... I mean, look, folks, I'm telling you right now, it's just the scratch in the surface when it comes to investing in the cryptocurrency. I mean, even if you don't know how to pattern and swing trade this son of a bitch, I mean, the least you could do is buy it and hoard it. Buy cryptocurrency and hoard it, man. It is not, I mean, it'll probably be the best financial decision you've ever made in your life. I mean, as we start getting more and more of these trading platforms that traditionally trade stocks, integrating cryptocurrency, that's major, major money back into the cryptocurrency market. I mean, they're already starting it on the application Robinhood, the trading app. They've already integrated cryptocurrencies with its stock platform so that you can trade stocks for crypto, crypto for stocks, crypto for fiat, fiat for stocks, etc. And as more and more of these investment firms roll out a cryptocurrency option, we're going to start seeing this son of a bitch in cryptocurrency market capitalization go from the measly $345 billion we see it today into the trillions. Into the trillions of dollars of market cap. Because lest we forget, in the stock market, what is it, over $30 trillion? 30 or 40 trillion dollar market capitalization? I mean, right now, the entire cryptocurrency market cap is only 345 billion. We are at the fucking beginning of this, man. And that's why I continue to tell each and every one of you, there is going to be genuine wealth built in the cryptocurrency markets. A whole new wealth community, if you will. And I'm trying to encourage you all just to get your own piece of it. Just get a small piece of it, baby. Come on, man. You're at the beginning. You're at the beginning. I'm not joking. I mean, I think that this is just the scratch on the surface, man. And what have I always told you? Long-term investment reigns supreme. So with that being said, let's continue going. Let me cover some of these cryptos, and we'll move on to the stock markets. Let's cover Ethereum. ETH is the symbol. Current market capitalization is $60 billion market cap. The current circulating supply is 99 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Ethereum has gone down 0.20%. Ethereum's current price is $607.69 per Ethereum. So we saw it go up a little bit from the last time we were on together. So once again, we're seeing increases, baby. And why is it increasing? Because the dollar, the U.S. dollar, is decreasing. I'm just telling you, I'm just trying to plant capitalist seeds, man. I hope some of you people are actually goddamn listening. I hope some of you are listening. Let's go ahead and get to Bitcoin Cash. What have I told you about Bitcoin Cash? It likes to run. There's a lot of things I've talked about Bitcoin Cash about, but I don't want to get into it, so let's just go ahead and cover it. Bitcoin Cash, the symbol is BCH. Current market capitalization is $19 billion market cap. The current circulating supply is 17 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Bitcoin Cash has gone down 1.21%. Current price for Bitcoin Cash, $1,135.15 per Bitcoin Cash. All right? Now, let's continue, folks. I'm going to keep covering these. And once again, everything that I'm covering are coins that are going to be around for the long term. Okay? I'm not covering any shit coins on any of my broadcasts. So keep that in mind, okay? Let's take another look at Litecoin, folks. Litecoin, LTC, current market capitalization for Litecoin is $6.9 billion market capitalization. The current circulating supply is 56 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Litecoin has gone down 0.30%. Litecoin's current price, $121.34 per Litecoin. Now, I want to be honest with you. Even though I think Litecoin's Charlie Lee is a fucking idiot, there's still some room to grow here, folks. I'm going to be completely honest with you. If you take a look at the chart on Litecoin, I mean, we've seen higher numbers than the current prices we've seen. I mean, the highest we've seen Litecoin is at about $331 per Litecoin. And people are holding the bag from this current price to $319. So, in my personal view, I think that this is still a good buy, even though Charlie Lee's acting like a goddamn spurg on Twitter. I still think Litecoin is a pretty good buy, especially at these prices. So take a look at it, you know, make your own decision. That's what capitalism is all about. Let's go ahead and take a look at Monero, folks. XMR. XMR is the symbol. Current market capitalization is $2.6 billion market cap. The current circulating supply is 16 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Monero has gone down 1.37%. Current price for Monero is $164.84 per Monero. Let's get to Dash, folks. DASH is the symbol. The current market cap for Dash is $2.5 billion market capitalization. The circulating supply for Dash is 8 million, a nice low 8 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Dash has gone down 1.04%. Current price for Dash, $315.01 per Dash. Let's continue going. Let's talk a little bit about Quantum, which is once again my and the Inner Circle's biggest holding. Now, once again, we haven't seen too much action go into this coin, even though they've got the technology on their side. I mean, I personally believe that Quantum is the coin of the future. I think that it could be something that is far beyond our comprehension, given the fact how fast these guys are moving with their technology and how they're being accepted throughout Asia. I mean, just take a look at how many deals they have. I mean, you know, right now in South Korea, you could purchase a Starbucks coffee in South Korea with Quantum. So, I mean, we're waiting, and we're waiting patiently for this to kind of pop all the way up. Now, Patrick Dye has acknowledged, the guy who is the head of the team at Quantum, that maybe they could have done a little bit better marketing on this particular coin, because we should be seeing $300-400 prices on this coin at this point. But instead, that market capitalization is going to these ass clowns who plagiarize white papers and, you know, put ridiculous timelines of expectation. I'm talking about Tron and Cardano and all these other goddamn shit coins that are a bunch of crap. So with that being said, we should see some increases in Quantum, but I'm inquiring like hell. Folks, there's quite a few of us in the Inner Circle that are part of the 500 Club, meaning that we own 500 plus Quantum in our possession, and we're waiting. You know what I'm saying? We're waiting for this son of a bitch to go to $300-400, and once that happens, the entire Inner Circle is going to be filthy fucking rich. So this is our long-term investment. And what have I told you about long-term investment? Long-term investment reigns supreme, even if you have to be a little patient. Patience. Let's get to quantum. QTUM is the symbol, QTUM. Current market capitalization is $1.2 billion market cap. The current circulating supply is 88 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, quantum has gone down 1.06%. Current price for quantum, a very, very cheap $13.81 per quantum. Let's get to Zcash, another one that I like, folks. ZEC is the symbol. Current market capitalization for Zcash is $969 million market capitalization. The current circulating supply is a very low 4 million in circulation, folks. A very low 4 million in circulation for Zcash. In the past 24 hours, Zcash has gone down slightly, 0.79%. Current price for Zcash, symbol ZEC, $237.39 per Zcash. Now, another one I want to get to, folks, is 0x. That's symbol ZRX. Me and the Inner Circle got in on this when it was 40 cents, and I think it's going to go all the way up. Lest we forget, 0x's blockchain technology was picked up by Coinbase, and because Coinbase did buy out the exchange Paradex. Paradex uses 0x's technology to run its exchange. So there's going to be a lot of things happening in 0x. So me and the Inner Circle have gotten a piece of this. We're riding this. We have not sold off, even though we've made tremendous profits on this. But I still think it's got room to grow. I think it's got a lot of room to grow. So let's go ahead and take a look at 0x, ZRX. Current market capitalization is $712 million market cap. The current circulating supply is 531 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, 0x, ZRX has gone up. It has gone up 6.02%. That's right, it's gone up today, baby. Current price for 0x, $1.34 per 0x. It's a good coin, baby. It's a good goddamn coin, to say the least. Anyway, look, I'm looking at the time here. I've got a lot of things to talk about on the agenda today on the show. Got all kinds of production notes here, so we're going to go ahead and end it right here with that particular cryptocurrency, and we're just going to go ahead and segue right into stocks. So let's go ahead and do so. Now, why are stocks going up the ass today, right? I mean, weren't the people on Wall Street all afraid about the tariffs and the trade wars and all this crap? Well, folks, aside from all the great economic numbers that are coming out thanks to the Make America Great Again economic policy, but folks, I mean, the rest of the world is literally, we got them by the balls. I mean, I want to talk about this later on. I don't want to discuss everything about the tariffs right now, but we've got the world by the balls. Now, the reason that we saw this increase in the stock market is because the European Central Bank has announced, it hasn't announced yet. It's been hinted, it's been leaked from the European Central Bank's meeting, that the European Central Bank will stop buying bonds. It will stop buying European bonds, and that's going to put a big wrench in an already messed up economic situation in the European Union. So as a result, you got a lot of investors coming into the United States markets because it's the safest place to be right now in America, or excuse me, in the financial world, I should say, today. Now, what did I tell each and every one of you about this market right at the beginning, or not even at the beginning, at the end of 2017 and in the beginning of 2018? I said that the stock market was going to be on a bull run. And what we should do is wait and see till fourth quarter, fiscal year 2018. Once we see what's happening with that quarter, we can make an assessment on whether or not we're going to continue to be bullish into 2019 or we're going to try to be a little bit bearish. But as far as 2018, baby, I said it at the end of 2017 that it is a bull market in the stock market, baby. I mean, this all has everything to do with Trump. I know that the liberal media doesn't want to give him any kind of credit, but this is the Trump economy, and I'm glad that I'm living in it. I'm telling you, it is a great day to be a capitalist. It is a great, great time to be a capitalist. So if you're not a capitalist yet, well, then stop being a jerk dick, all right? Stop being a jerk dick and go out there and become one, for heaven's sake, all right? Let's get to the Dow Jones Industrial, all right? Take a look at the fucking stock market today. Dow Jones is up 346.41 points, a percentage increase of 1.40% increase on the day. Good God! Closing out the Dow Jones Industrial at 25,146.39 points for the Dow Jones Industrial. Now, people ask me, Ghost, how do I invest in the stock market? Folks, value invest. Value invest. What that means is whatever monies you would be traditionally putting aside each month for savings, per se, what you should do is buy a blue chip stock in the Dow Jones Industrial that is a high yield dividend. A high yield dividend. I mean, that is the safest way to play the stock market, is value investing into a Dow Jones Industrial stock that has a high yield dividend. Because you see, what happens is this. When you value invest, and some months you may buy the stock a little higher, some months you may buy a little lower, it will all average itself out because of this value investing strategy. And moreover, you get paid each quarter per share that you own when you collect dividends on a high yield dividend stock. So basically, when you get a high yield dividend stock, you're getting paid to hold the stock. I mean, you're getting paid to hold the stock. I mean, I'm telling you valuable information, folks, that people get paid millions of dollars a year to give. And I'm giving it to you for free because I want to make capitalists, baby. I want to make capitalists not just here in America. I want to make capitalists all over the world. You know, now that I'm independent and I run my own operation, I'm seeing people get my stream from areas of the world that I never thought would be listening. I never thought would be listening. Hong Kong, South Korea, Fiji Islands, Kenya, Nigeria. I mean, I'm not joking. I hope everybody who's listening to me understands that capitalism is there for everybody, especially with cryptocurrency in play. Especially with cryptocurrency in play. Anyway, let's get back to covering the stocks here. Let's get to the S&P. The S&P 500 is up today 23.55 points, a percentage increase of 0.86%, closing out the S&P at 2,772.35 points for the S&P 500. Let's get to the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is also up, folks, 51.38 points, a percentage increase of 0.67%, closing out the NASDAQ at 7,689.24 points for the NASDAQ composite. Now, let's go ahead and get to commodities out here and see what the somewhat decrease in the dollar did to the commodities. Let's go check it out. Let's get to energy. Now, we've been seeing a considerable dip in energy because we've speculated that OPEC is actually going to increase production in June. That got leaked out. You know, the investors got skittish. And we've come down considerably, at least in WTI, from the $71, $72 barrel that we've seen going into this. But we're starting to see some positivity come back to the energy sector, so let's take a look at it. WTI sweet crude, it is up today 44 cents, a percentage increase of 0.68%, closing out WTI sweet crude at $65.17 per barrel of WTI sweet crude. We've got Brent crude also up today, folks, 52 cents, a percentage increase of 0.69%, closing out Brent crude at $75.88 per barrel of Brent crude. Now, this is a huge discrepancy price between WTI crude oil, which is what we consume here in America, and the Brent crude oil, which is what is consumed out there in Europe. Now, Europe, they are completely dependent on the OPEC nation states for getting their oil. And not only are the Europeans at the behest of OPEC nations, but so is Australia and other such countries. Now, we in America, we consume WTI sweet crude, which is just a different type of crude oil, but either way, take a look at that discrepancy in price. WTI sweet crude price, $65.17 per barrel of WTI sweet crude. And you take a look at Brent. Brent crude oil is $75.88. That's an over $10 discrepancy. Now, the basic reason for that, folks, which is unprecedented. You're not used to seeing this type of stuff. I have not ever seen this type of discrepancy in all my years of investing. Now, the reason we're seeing this, folks, is because America is producing oil now, baby. We oil producers now! Woo! And, you know, I know people are probably saying to themselves, yeah, Ghost, but what about the fucking high gas prices, man? Well, folks, you can thank Mr. Yes We Can for that. Because, remember, during the tenure of Obama, we had a considerable amount of hurricanes that damaged the coast. And in these coasts, we have refineries in which these refineries refine crude oil into gasoline. So we don't have enough of those built, thanks to the over-regulatory bodies that fucking Barack Obama and his administration put forth for the oil companies. So technically, even though we're producing massive amounts of oil, we need to build refineries, and refineries take a long fucking time to build. Thanks, Obama, piece of crap. Anyway, we've got gasoline. It is up 0.63%. We've got natural gas up 0.17%, and heating oil is up 0.54%. Let's get to the metals, shall we? The metals! Let's get to the goddamn metals! We've got gold down today, 20 cents, a percentage decrease of 0.02%, closing out gold at $1,301.20 per troy ounce of gold. We've got silver up very slightly, only up a penny, a percentage increase of 0.07%, closing out silver at $16.70 per troy ounce of silver. We've got cotton up 0.03%. We've got platinum up 0.02%. Let's get to agriculture, shall we, folks? Let's get to agriculture. Grains. Corn is up 0.40%. Wheat is up 0.87%. Oats is down 1.33% decrease for oats. Rough rice is down 0.22%. Soybean is up 0.03%. Soybean oil is unchanged for the day. And canola is down 0.17%. Let's go ahead and get to the soft, shall we? Cocoa, it is up slightly, 0.31%. I wonder if the Ebola is still affecting this particular commodity. We've got coffee.
Hey, dude, don't talk to me unless I have my coffee. Yeah, give me my fucking coffee, dude. Yeah, I want it. I want to taste it. I like it when it's on my lips.
Shut up, you freak. We've got coffee down 1%. Sugar is up 1.50% increase. Orange juice is up 0.55%. Cotton, good God, cotton is up 1.76%. Lumber is up 0.66%. And rubber is up 0.69%. And good God, ethanol, what a tanking in this commodity. Ethanol is down 4.04% decrease on the day for ethanol. Good God. Let's get to livestock, shall we? We got live cattle up today, 0.50%. We've got cattle feeder up 0.43%. And folks, you know what to do when you see those fat jelly-ass ham bones out there that are hovering around in the grocery store, that are hovering around in the goddamn shopping malls. When they back up, they do that proverbial beep, 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 beep. Pass by these sons of bitches. Don't confront them. Just say, ham bone. Fat, greasy ass, smelly ass, back rashed ham bone. That's it. That's all you need to do. Anyway, Lean Hog is up big time for all you damn ham bone lovers. Lean Hog is up 3.80% increase on the damn day. And that, my friends, is the markets for your ass, all right? All right, folks. Now that we got the markets out of the way, let me go ahead and get some love on the rocks here. And we are now in the second hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. Before we get started on anything, I'd like to kindly ask each and everybody that's listening to me live right now to spread this show link around like wildfire. Go to the forum posts. Go to the blogs. Go to the chat rooms. Go everywhere on the internet and spread it around like wildfire and let everybody know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house. And we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And I love being independent now! The official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast is ghost.report. That's all you have to type in your browser, add it to your bookmarks, add it to your favorites. Ghost.report. All right? And by the way, folks, if you haven't done so, please follow me on my only social media on the internet today. Of course, it's at Gab. If you don't know Gab by now, it is the last bastion of freedom of speech and social media today. And if you don't have if you don't have an account there, then what you doing, baby? Get an account, follow me on there under the name Politics Ghost. All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow. And, of course, we're about to get to some shout-outs. I want to say what's going on to everybody in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. What's going on, man? If you want to kick back with us in the True Capitalist Radio chat room, well, then, by God, what are you waiting for? All you have to do is go to my Gab account right now, Politics Ghost, and hit the subscribe button for premium content, all right? Hit the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do, give me a private message on Gab. Give me a private message on Gab with your Discord chat name, and I will give you a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that damn simple. Now that we've gotten that all out of the way, Jesus Christ, I guess it's about time for these fucking shout-outs. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get to them. I don't know if you folks heard the last show, but, I mean, these goddamn shout-outs got me fucking jaded, man. They got me goddamn jaded. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait on the chat room shout-outs, and guess what I'm going to do today on this Hump Day edition of True Capitalist Radio? I'm going to go to the Gab first! I'm going to go to the Gab first! As a matter of fact, before I do, let me take a freaking drink. Because I got love on the rocks. Because it feels so good, yeah. All right. Let's go to Gab first. Hey, engineer, do we got any Gab shout-outs to be had by any chance? All right. Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and get to some Gab shout-outs right now. And oh yeah, by the way, if you don't know, if you want a Gab shout-out live right here on the broadcast, all you've got to do right now, go to my Gab account, Politics Ghost, and like the first post on my Gab account, the post that states True Capitalist Radio now live. Listen in. That's right, True Capitalist Radio now live. Listen in. If you like that post right now, I will give you a Gab shout out live right here on the broadcast right here and now. So let's go ahead and do this. Who do we got? We got the Führer King, whoever the hell that is. Autistic capitalist, really, asshole? Jesus, got penis my cunt? What the hell? Penis up my cunt? What the hell? Oh, Shut up, you stupid moron. We got Shy Guy Mask in the house. We got Clown Car Colon. What the fuck does that mean, you sick bastard? Jesus Christ. We got Charles in the house. What's going on? Who else do we got here? We got Blackjack in the house. We got Wilford Brimley's mustache ride. Oh, what the fuck? What kind of a sick bastard would think of something like that? Wilford Brimley mustache ride. You sick fucking bastards, man. I'm telling you. We got Dildo Faggins in the house. What's going on to Dildo Faggins? We got Ghost Breeds Cans. Shut up. Shut up, for Christ's sake. We've got, who else we got? We got Juju Bazaar's Investment. What the fuck does that mean? Templeton Youth Houston Chapter. Templeton, you shut up! Don't be talking about my dog. What's going on to Aaron? He's in the house. Let's troll Putin's FIFA 2018. You know, that sounds like a pretty good idea. That sounds like a pretty good idea. What's going on to Daddy Warbucks? We got Nicodemus in the house. Nathan in the place. What's going on? We got Ghost Spurg on last TCR. I didn't spurg, you idiot. I was just pissed off, all right? I was just pissed off because I've been doing this damn show for 10 fucking years, and I just didn't think anybody was appreciating it. That's all right? I got a little upset. I got a little angry, but that's all there is to it, all right? I mean, everything's all right. We're having a good fucking show today. Shut the fuck up. Ghost Marshall Davis. Yeah, real funny, you jerk dick, for Christ's sake. Ghost cheats at Monopoly. No, I don't. What are you talking? You never played Monopoly with me. I am a killer Monopoly player. Are you kidding me? I mean, if there was a fucking World Series of Monopoly, I would be king. I would be the king of fucking World Series Monopoly, so don't give me that crap. Remember the Autismo? Shut up, you stupid, for Christ's sake. Remember the Autismo? Oh, my God. Who else do we have here? Just pee and wipe the sides. Yeah, well, that didn't work for the guy. Yeah, there was a guy. I'm not going to say who he is, but he's like in the TCR chat. He claims that he doesn't wear protection whenever having sexual liaisons with women, and that what he does to prevent them from getting pregnant is just pee in... I don't even want to say... You know, I don't even want to talk about it. But basically, he suggests that you do a little pee down in the vajayjay region and then wipe the sides of the vajayjay, and supposedly that's supposed to prevent pregnancy. Well, guess what? His chick's pregnant! Oh, my God. Anyway, let's move on. The wipe the sides didn't work, didn't it? Jesus Christ. Who else do we have here? We got left legs at San Hambonio Gay Bar. Man, the gay bars out here, bro, are nasty. The gays in San Antonio have got to be some of the most low-grade gays I have ever seen in my entire life. You can literally smell and see the AIDS infection on all these people. I'm not even kidding, man. I'm not even joking. I mean, I'm even afraid to go to the store because I'm afraid that some of these people got their AIDS hands on all, like, the produce and shit. There's too many gay people. You know, whatever happened to gays, man? Remember when gays used to be, like, fashionable, and, you know, they were big on cuisine, and they were really clean, and, you know, they had like a certain eloquence to them, not aside from them taking it up the pooper, but still, at least they had some level of pride. What the fuck's going on with these gays now? I'm going to be honest with you guys, okay? Listen, I'm going to be completely honest. Completely honest. I actually watch the Gay Network, okay? Now, not because I'm a homosexual or anything of that capacity. It's because, for whatever reason, it's called the fucking Logo Network, okay? They got all the syndicated all the syndication. They got all the syndicated shows. Fucking Married with Children, for Christ's sake. Freaking Jack Tripper and Three's Company. I love Jack Tripper and Three's Company. Come and knock on our door. Come and knock on our door. Take a step and it's new. Take a step and it's new. I mean, I fucking love that shit. Anyway, the reason I bring it up, all right, the reason I bring this up is just to show you guys even though I may be highly critical of the LGBTQ movement, okay, I speak because I know where I'm coming from. I've done my research, okay? And no, it doesn't mean that I experimented with any kind of homosexuality either, there perverts. Shut up! I'm just saying, man, if you're going to debate these gays, right? If you're going to debate the LGBT movement, you've got to know where they're coming from, because if you don't, what's the defense mechanism they'll give you?
Oh, you don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to live the gay lifestyle. You don't know what it's like to be gay, okay? You don't know nothing about me, bitch.
And I'm going to be, no, I know exactly what your pa's hole's ass is all about. You're pausing everybody's neg hole. And by the way, June is Pride Month. I don't know if y'all know, this is like, gay pride. And once again, where the hell is the pride in the LGBTQ movement when you keep pausing everybody's neg hole? I mean, there's no pride when you're pausing everybody's neg hole, man. And shut up in the fucking... Look, the True Capitalist Radio chat room is talking shit. I don't watch fag TV. I watch the Logo Network because they got all the fucking syndicated goddamn... They got all the syndication over there. Come and knock at our door. Come and knock at our door. They take a step and it's new. Fucking love that fucking show, man. Jack fucking Tripper. And Larry, too. Isn't Larry cool, man? He had the fucking 70s hair going on. You know what I mean? I miss those days, man. Anyway, let me get back to the fucking shout-outs here, all right? All right, who do we got here? We got Ghost went to Ram Ranch. Shut the fuck up. I didn't go to fucking Ram. You Ram Ranched your ass. Jesus Christ. Ghost watches the Lemon Party Network. Fuck you with the Lemon Party. That's disgusting. I can't believe that shit's even still around. And what are you going to do? You're going to give links to Tub Girl? Y'all remember Tub Girl? Good if you don't. Good if you don't. Jesus Christ. Who else do we have here? We've got no radio graffiti equals anime hour. Well, good. Go get your anime off, you fuck. Freaking anime. What's going on in Man Bear Pig? We've got Ghost Chat BTFO. Shut the fuck up, you idiot. You come on down and say that and see if your ass don't get your ass beat. You understand that, boy? I'm a beer you crat. I'm a beer you crat. What the fuck does that mean? You got look. I'm going to warn you guys one last fucking time. Look, I'm trying not to get the way I was this past Monday. I'm trying to keep things into perspective. I'm trying to keep things cool, for Christ's sake. But you fucking people just keep fucking nagging. Keep picking. You keep nagging, for Christ's sake. Cut it out! Cut it the hell out. I'm not even kidding, all right? Ice Poseidon. Don't compare me to that autistic asshole Ice Poseidon, all right? Don't compare me to that bastard. I am not autistic entertainment. I'm not entertainment for tards like that son of a bitch, all right? I'm serious business. My show gives the straight political dope to everybody's out there who's listening all across the internets. Don't compare me to that fucking Asperger, autist, Ice Poseidon boy, all right? And by the way, hey, Ice Poseidon, what you did to Caroline was fucked up, you stupid incel faggot. I saw what you did to her, Ice Poseidon. You know what? If you were just in Austin, Texas, if you would have just cruised down south 90 minutes to San Hambonio, I would have handed your ass to you for what you did to that poor girl Caroline. Fucking Ice Poseidon. Anyway, let me move on, for Christ's sake, before I just never mind. Who else do we have here? What is this? Jimmy Howe in the house. We've got the Billy the Belt Boy. There's Billy the Belt Boy. There's, oh yes, I am the whoremaster. Ghost the Gay Cripple. Shut the fuck up. I'm not cripple. I'm not cripple. I mean, I don't know how many times I gotta tell you stupid idiots this. Look, do I need to do for Lori? Fucking, I'm stomping my fucking feet, you hear it? I'm fucking stomping on fucking feet. So fuck off. Fuck you. Jesus Christ. Bernie Sanders crypto wishing well. You fucking piece of... piece of shit. Shove it up your ass. Bernie Sanders cryptocurrency wishing well. I'm not getting shit for the show, man. I'm not fucking... piece of shit. I'm not getting shit for this fucking show. I'm not getting shit for this show. Look, man, don't fucking start with me. All right, all of you assholes on the internet, don't fucking start with me. Don't fuck with me today, all right? Don't fuck with me. I'm warning you, don't fuck with me. The last show was bad enough, all right? Don't fuck with me. I'm going to calm down here. Listen, I'm moving on. I'm not giving any more goddamn gab shout-outs. All right, y'all fucking ruined it. Y'all fucking ruined it. I'm moving on. Shut up on gab. Stop gabbing at me. We're moving on to some damn True Capitalist Radio chat room shout-outs. All right, and if you're in the True Capitalist Radio chat room, all you got to do is go into the voice chat, and I will give you a damn shout-out live right here on the broadcast right here and now. By the way, do we have any goddamn chat room shout-outs, engineer? All right, well, without any further ado, let's get to the chat room shout-outs right now! And hopefully, they're better than the goddamn gab shout-outs, for Christ's sake. U.S. Pig Farm Pageant. What the hell are you talking about? Are you calling our fucking women fat, boy? Well, maybe they are. Who knows? 2 years of nice stories. Look. Shut the fuck up. Don't bring that ass. I just want to talk about nice stories about incontinence and ponies. I want to put Pampers on ponies. I don't want to hear about that shit. All right, that's Blog Talk Radio days. We don't want to fucking hear about it. God damn it, you fucking guys are pissing me the goddamn fuck off. I'm telling you this right goddamn now. 2 years of poopy diapers. What the fuck is this shit? 2 years of poopy diapers. What is this crap? Trevor Noah? What's Trevor Noah? Get that South African goddamn mulatto out of my chat room. Trevor Noah. The Burning Mumbuku. Anyway, I'm sorry. Hey, I didn't mean to laugh at that, all right? Pampered Body Pillow Barrage. What the fuck's up with all this pampered shit? What the hell's up with all this pampered shit? TCR Tard Chat over the inner circle. Listen, you fucking sons of bitch. Look, don't fuck with the inner circle, all right? You understand me, you sacks of crap? Don't do it. Fuck with me in the inner circle. Fuckers! Don't talk about the inner circle! Do you understand me? Don't talk about the inner circle! You son of a bitch! The inner circle is my friends or my family, you faggots! Don't fuck with them! God damn it! God damn it, you sons of bitches! Alright, I gotta get through these fucking names so I can get on with the damn show. We got Stagio, we got Sparked in the house, smashing cans for autists since 2008. Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! You piece of shit! for tards! Do you understand that? I'm not entertainment for fucking tards, so shut the fuck up! Give me my fucking drink, for Christ's sake. Listen, man. Oh, I don't know how many times I gotta go through this, man. Every fucking show I gotta go through this shit, man. That's why I got rid of Radio Graffiti! That's why I got rid of Radio fucking Graffiti! You fucks, man! You fuck! You fuck! I'm gonna move on. I can't keep doing this. Pamper bro dog. We got orgy at barn. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Fuck you. All right. We got on duty Wrangler distilling. We got Mile High in the place. Metaform in the house. Mamacitas was awesome. Well, that's good to hear, man. What is this? Left underwears in Wishing Well. Oh, Jesus fucking. Son of a bitch! Stop comparing the cryptocurrencies Wishing Well to some Bernie Sanders bullshit! You understand? Don't compare the cryptocurrency Wishing Well to some Bernie Sanders bullshit! I don't get paid nothing for this fucking show! Do you fucking ungrateful tards understand that? I don't get paid shit for this show! Fucking all I'm asking is for a fucking little bit of appreciation! I'm just asking for a fucking little bit of appreciation! And you fuckers don't care! That's it, man. Let's just move on with the fucking shit. Fucking all in on Dogecoin. Fuck you! Fucking Dogecoin. You stupid autistic tards that keep investing at are the reason why nobody takes cryptocurrency seriously. You fucking autists. God damn it, you're pissing me off today. I did not want you fuckers to piss me off. But you do it all the time. You do it all the time. You do it over and over and over and over and over all the fucking time. That's it, man. I'm so fucking pissed off. Cuckafornia takeover. Yeah, no kidding. Ice Cap buying more quantum. I don't blame you, man. Buy that quantum, baby. We got Holden Capitalist, Hawk Late Milk, Harvey Johnson hanging out with Kate Spade. Oh, good God, no. Hanging out with Kate Spade? You macabre assholes, man. I'm telling you, you macabre assholes. We got Hambone Capitalist. Ghost joined the CX network. No, I didn't. I'm not giving any percentage of what I make to that freaking Danino. You could tell he's a little bit Jewish. Take a look at that fucking nose of that Ice Poseidon. Give me a break. Anyway, let me move on. We got Funky Butt Lovin'. We got Ali Ghosta and the 4 T Jews. What the fuck does that mean? Ali Ghosta and the 4 T Jews? What the fuck does that... What the hell is that supposed to mean? Economic Refugee Cellist. We got Cyber Necro. We got Colon Punisher again. Good God, with that asshole. We got Chief Bigum Dickum. All right. We got Capitalist Chris in the house. We've got Capitalist America in the place. California Needs to Die in the house. Good God. We got C for AR in the place. Bluegrass Capitalist. We got Blasphemous the Tard. What is it? Bludgeoner, excuse me. Jesus Christ. We got Beer Force in the house. Australian Capitalist. We got Arbiter. And shut up with the Dogecoin memes. All right, that's enough. All right, that's enough. That's it. Oh, my God. I hate going through those goddamn fucking shout-outs, man, but... I mean, I'm trying to make the show just a little bit interactive here. That's all I try to do is make the show a little bit interactive. And, you know, I'm always getting screwed over for it. And by the way, I dropped my production notes here. Jesus Christ, get the fucking production. Look at there's production notes here, man. This whole fucking place. This whole goddamn place is a mess because of you assholes. Sons of bitches, man. Look, assholes. I just want a little bit of appreciation, man. I mean, don't you understand? I'm not getting paid anything for this goddamn broadcast anymore. That I'm pure independent now. I'm pure independent now. And I just wish we had a little bit of respect, man. Look, I'm moving on. That was a stupid... I hate that fucking segment. You people are lucky I still have the shout-out segment. And by the way, for all you people that are wondering about Radio Graffiti, look, I know y'all been waiting for an announcement or whatever. This Friday, if you all want Radio Graffiti, I'll tell you how to get it. And if y'all want to bring it back, that's up to you. If not, then no skin off my sack. So be on the lookout for that this Friday, all right? Anyway, let's move on with the crux of the broadcast, shall we? We've got some straight political dope to be talking about out here. First thing I want to talk about, of course, is Donald Trump, the President of the United States, the George Washington of modern America. I want to talk to you about him because now, because of yesterday's primary, it is now proof that the capitalist revolution has completely taken over the Republican Party. You're goddamn right. This is Trump's party now. And Trump is pure, unadulterated capitalist. And all you have to look at is the Make America Great Again economic policy to come to that synopsis, baby. You understand that? And for you folks that are unaware, last night, California, all right, believe it or not, it went red. It went red. Believe it or not, Republicans have taken control of the state Senate in California. I mean, can you believe that? I mean, I was waiting for these people in California to do something because there's no way that a whole mass populace can be this ridiculous. I mean, just allowing open borders, allowing illegal immigrants to come into your country, allowing illegal immigrants to commit crime in your state and then letting them go, even if they're committing something as high as murder, you're letting them go back on the street? People had enough of that, man. And you want to know why? It's gotten so dangerous in California that even these stars, these celebrities that live in these gated communities are getting hit up. They're getting burglarized. They're getting their cars robbed. It's unbelievable. But once again, total victory for the capitalist revolution. Total victory for Trump. This is now the party of Trump. This is now the party of Trump, and let me tell you, this blue wave that the mainstream media was trying to shove down our throats, it doesn't look like it's going to be a blue wave, baby. It looks like it's going to be a great red wave, baby, coming in. And by God, once it does, we are truly going to make America great again. Truly make America great again. I am so proud of this country at this point. I'm telling you, folks, I have never been more proud to be an American than today in Trump's America. I'm not kidding. I'm not even joking. I appreciate this president in every capacity, from his economic policies to his social policies to the way he is so patriotic and emphasizes that we all should pay respect to our flag, to our national anthem, to our troops. I fucking love that guy, man. I fucking love Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the hero that I'm not too sure America deserves, but thank God that he's here for us. Thank God. Thank God, man. Anyway, once again, California shows signs of red. All right, the GOP has taken control of the state Senate, so all this massive liberal policies is going to come to a little bit of a halt now. And we shall see what happens in the governor's race, because lest we forget, you've got this guy Cox, who is running for governor, who is much like Trump, was endorsed by Trump, a businessman, going against an establishment liberal candidate in Gavin Newsom. Now, for you folks that don't know Gavin Newsom, he was once, I believe, the mayor of San Francisco. They were touting him as the up-and-coming Democrat to not only be governor of the state of California, but potentially be presidential material. Now, the reason Newsom didn't necessarily leap to that particular expectation because he was somewhat of a philanderer, and that came back to haunt him, and that's why he's been out of the loop in the political scene for the past several years. Now he's come back, and I guess that he is the last hope for progressive liberalism at this point in time. And what yesterday's primary should show the Democrats is that this socialist progressive liberalism that they have embraced for the past 8 years since Obama, people have had enough of it. Even the most liberal state in the union, California, is tired of it. They're tired of the progressive liberal socialist bullshit. They're tired of the race-baiting politics. They're tired of the divide and conquer. They're tired that the California government, the state and municipal governments of California, put illegal immigrants and criminals on a higher pedestal than actual United States and California citizens. They have gotten tired, they have spoken, and this should be something that resonates through all you Democrats that are out there thinking that you're going to have some kind of a blue wave in 2018. Hell no. Hell no. Legitimate, common-sense people have had enough of your liberal lunacy, and yesterday's primary proves it. It proves it. I'm looking forward to 2018, and you know that I'm going to keep broadcasting. You know that I'm going to continue to promote the capitalist ideas. You know that I'm going to continue to desecrate and downgrade every liberal, every leftist, every communist, socialist concept, because we got to do it, baby. Because if I don't do it and other people don't do it, no one's going to do it. And let me tell you, shows like this, independent media, social media, influencers, they mean everything. That's what won us the election in 2016, folks. That's what won us the election in 2016. Anyway, I want to move on because there's a lot of news as it relates to the president. Did y'all hear that POTUS, the president, signs a health care bill for veterans, which has been long overdue, folks? I want to be honest with you. During the Obama administration, I knew a lot of veteran friends of mine who got sick because they just couldn't get to see a doctor fast enough because of the backlog in the VA. And aside from the backlog in the VA, the absolute malpractice-based medicine that they were giving our troops at the time were getting our troops more and more sick. I just think that it's about time that we had a president that cared about our veterans and not took a dirty diarrhea shit on them like President Obama did for 8 fucking years. Now, in this health care bill for veterans, folks, the president, he signed today, it calls for more Veterans Affairs accountability. No more of this crap that we can't fire this person because they've got a tenured position or some bureaucratic loophole that keeps bad people from doing bad medicine to our veterans. Nah, there's an accountability situation in this bill. So if you don't do the job for our veterans, you're fucking fired! Secondly, folks, this bill prohibits any veteran from having to wait for medical care. Because typically, folks, this is a government-based system, the VA. And much like any government-based system that's ran by government, I mean, not only is it insufficient, but most of the time, especially when it comes to health, it is incompetent. I mean, I hate to compare this to, like, the state-run medical care that you have, like, let's say in the UK or in Canada, because that's along the same lines but a little different. But veterans that have to wait for medical care because there's backlog in the VA no longer have to wait. They can now go to their private doctor or a private doctor of their choosing instead of waiting for the backlog in the VA. I mean, it is about time, man, we start giving back to our veterans, folks, because, man, I mean, what makes me sick is that we've got all these people that are selfish, that think that our way of life in the United States is something that is supposed to be normal. That they take the safety of the United States, the freedom of the United States, the economic prosperity of the United States for granted, and not understand that people sacrifice their lives so that we could sustain this type of continuity. And let me tell you, I love our veterans. Anybody who has served in our military, I give you the utmost respect, because without you, we would not have this great country of ours. And I'm so glad that we have a president that appreciates you as much as I appreciate you. And because our president is in power, he has the authority to show you appreciation instead of giving you a bunch of lip service like the last administration did. So thank God the president signed a bill helping our veterans so that we can get them healthy, man. I'd like for you all to take a look at the statistics of veterans that are killing themselves. I mean, we have a major situation when it comes to our vets, folks. Aside from them killing themselves on a mass basis now, the number one population that consumes the homeless demographic are veterans. Veterans are what consume the homeless demographic, folks. I mean, I'm not bullshitting you. I mean, these are real facts that, of course, this liberal, mainstream media is not going to tell you. And once again, we got a president that understands this, that has empathy, that has compassion, that realizes that without these men, these soldiers, these patriots, we would not be where we are today. So thank God, once again, Donald Trump for fucking coming out, helping the veterans, and showing them that this country appreciated them, and not be like what we did to the poor Vietnam vets when they came back home. And you know a good movie, folks, that'll show you what happened to the Vietnam veterans when they came home and how they were treated? The first Rambo with Sylvester Stallone. Now, the other Rambos are, they're a bunch of unrealistic garbage, but the first Rambo, believe it or not, was a great movie. It was a great movie. I mean, Rambo had been discharged from the military. He had fought in Vietnam. He was kind of a drifter. And he found that, even though he had fought for his country and was a, very hardcore, valiant soldier, that his country really didn't appreciate him or his service. And that's really what Rambo is all about. I don't want to give away the movie, the first one, but it is a great movie as it relates to showing how the America at the time, the population of America, treated our veterans from Vietnam. And once again, I want to thank the president for signing this health care bill for the veterans, because I have seen veterans get sicker and sicker during the Obama administration because of the incompetence and the lack of medical facilities, the lack of medical doctors, the lack of competence, etc., as it relates to the VA. So, Trump, once again, man, winning, man. Aside from that, I want to talk a little bit more about the president. Yesterday, I don't know if y'all heard, he disinvited the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, for you folks that are unaware, the Philadelphia Eagles were the football team that won the NFL Super Bowl. And you know how it goes. When you win the Super Bowl, you win the World Series, you win the NBA title, you get an invitation to the White House. And the team goes there, and they get the White House tour, and the president presents them with something. They present something to the president. It's pretty much formality, right? But no, not with Trump. I'm telling you, man, the amount of immense hatred for Trump is just not, it's unreal. And once again, I ask everybody, what do you hate about this man? Every policy, every law this man has passed has been pro-America. I mean, what do you hate about Donald Trump? I mean, seriously, man. I just don't understand this immense hatred for this person. This guy has been selfless in his approach to the presidency. I mean, just take a look at all the institutions, the deep state, the globalists, the fucking politically weaponized media, the establishment of the Republican and the Democratic parties. I mean, it's all everybody against him. And the reason that he continues going, the reason that he continues to pursue this presidency is because of us, man. Is because of us. He gave the power back to the people. He said it in his inauguration speech. Anyway, the president decided to disinvite the Philadelphia Eagles. Why? Because the NFL has implemented a new rule. Actually, the rule was always there. You just had Roger Goodell too chicken shit to actually implement it last year. It is going to prevent the NFL players from taking a knee when for the national anthem. You know, this whole Kaepernicker shit. No, there's no more of that in the NFL. And if you're going to plan on doing that, you stay in the damn locker room, you piece of crap. We don't even want to see your face. And you know, what people don't understand is that the troops, our veterans, they're the ones who watch the NFL on a consistent basis. They watch sports to try to eliminate their psyche from wars and battles. And the last thing they want to see is the politicization of the sports that they appreciate. And folks, I don't understand why these sports figures are trying to get political as if we're going to listen to them. You know, it's almost as if these celebrities feel that they're a godlike type of entity, and that what they say, people that admire them are just going to automatically believe. Now, aside from the president disinviting the Eagles, he decided to have his own get-together in the lawn, comprising of a bunch of troops, a bunch of people in the media, etc. And, I mean, folks, it was a patriotic event to counter an anti-American stance when it came to these Eagles visiting the White House. Now, the reason the Eagles decided not to go to the White House was because of the rule that is now going to be implemented in the 2018-19 season of the NFL. You cannot kneel during the national anthem, and if you are, you're going to stay in the locker room. And that's what the Eagles were protesting. You know, I heard that only 2 Eagles players were going to show up to the White House. Out of 35, 40 guys, only 2. So Trump was like, I'm not going to put up with this political stunt. And what are these people actually protesting? They're protesting our country? I mean, folks, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I mean, this makes me so angry. It almost makes me want to do something very crazy to some of these dumbass athletes. But, of course, you can't. But it almost makes you want to, because I'd like to ask each and every one of these guys, where else in the world can you play a fucking silly-ass game and make millions of dollars doing it? You can't do that anywhere else. I mean, maybe you could become a soccer player, but you'd have to be an ultra badass soccer player and compete with the rest of the world in their soccer playing so that you could show that you were worth David Beckham money or Pele money or some shit. But you can't go anywhere else and make $100 million playing basketball. You can't go anywhere else and make $50 million playing football. You can't go into any other country. So my question is, what the fuck are you fucking players protesting? What are you protesting? Because I want to be honest with you, folks. I'm not a racist guy, okay? I'm a melting pot of friendship. I happen to have a whole bunch of friends that happen to be black. I happen to have a whole bunch of friends that happen to be Hispandex. I happen to have a whole bunch of friends that happen to be WAP, Kraut, Guinea, Camel Jockey, Oriental, Frog. I mean, Muck Shoveling Mick. I am a melting pot of friendship, okay? But the way the African American contingent of this country, the black contingent of this country, is acting as a whole. Because remember, A group is defined by its majority, folks. Okay, a group is defined by its majority. The way that these black folks are acting in this country are starting to make me go a little bit, I'm not saying I'm racist, but prejudice. Okay, there's a difference. All right, I may be tending to get a little bit prejudiced towards black people when I initially see them, because all I hear from black folk, with all due respect, is bitching and moaning. That's all I hear. I hear no black folk actually trying to make an attempt to make black people better. You look at Black Lives Matter, what the fuck are they doing? Every time there's a goddamn shooting of some cop that happens to kill some black guy, what do? They organize and they go and riot and burn down their black-owned businesses, burn down their black neighborhoods, and then what? What does that accomplish? That's not accomplishing anything. There are no black leaders that are guiding the black folk in America to anything. If anything, black leaders that are around today, black liberal leaders, are going and guiding these people into self-destruction. That's what it looks like to me. I mean, let's take it case in point, Black Lives Matter. What have I always said about Black Lives Matter? This isn't about race with this group. Folks, Black Lives Matter is a front so that the homosexual community could take advantage and usurp the black strife. Do you understand? I mean, take a look at the guy who's leading Black Lives Matter, D. Ray McKesson. Believe me, he knows the capitalist army well. If you tweet at him the capitalist army anything, he's going to ignore you because he's scared shitless of us. And why? Because we exposed him for the fruit bowl that he is. This guy, D. Ray McKesson, the supposed leader of Black Lives Matter, a power bottom, he is, and I have suspected this, a poshole because he is a, quote, AIDS HIV activist. AIDS HIV activists. Now, the only people that are AIDS HIV activists are those that are infected with the disease. Now, I ask you black people this, okay? In what moral or ethical grounds do you feel that you can act a fool like you're acting in today's prosperous America? And I say this with the most genuine empathy. Because, folks, let's be honest. Black people do... I'm not saying there's no good black people. I know a bunch of good black folk. But they're a minority within the demographic. I mean, people like Thomas Sowell and people like... these individuals, the black intellectuals, these people are a minority. What the majority is now is ghettofied thuggery, the embracing of gangster rap, and correlating gangster rap with black culture. And I've said this time and time again, rap was not invented by black people. It was invented by Jewish and white elitists out of Hollywood. Now, why is it that what is stricken with the black folk, which is violence, poverty, crime, the whole stereotypical shit, how come we don't see this when it comes to other races? How come we don't see this type of same habitual, poverty-stricken, generational type of paradigm when it comes to the Asians of this country? How come the Asians don't seem to have this problem? How come the Indians from India don't seem to have this problem? How come the Jews, who, believe it or not, at the turn of the 20th century, the Jews comprised most of the ghettos of America, folks. I mean, Brooklyn was a Jewish ghetto at the turn of the 19th century. And what happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. Most of the Jews actually went and fought in World War I, World War II, and once they got out of those wars, they educated themselves and pulled themselves out of poverty. How come we don't see this with any other race with the exception of the black race, folks? Because, I'll tell you why. Because of white liberalism. white liberals fill the heads of these uneducated groups of folks and have them believe that just because they existed and because maybe 4 or 5 generations ago you may have been in, quote, slavery, that you deserve reparations, that you deserve free this, free that, free this. You know, that's what they all demand. They all demand free this, free that. And I had this discussion the other day with the Inner Circle. It was a great discussion, and I don't mean to go off on a soliloquy about this, but we talked about slavery because it doesn't make sense to me, folks, that the United States, during the initial colonies, that we just sent ships through the Atlantic and went to Africa and bagged Africans, threw them on our boats, had them row the boats back to America, and then sold them so that we can sadistically whip them on command. I mean, that's what the movie Roots tells us, remember? Y'all seen that movie Roots? You've seen that movie Roots? That's what they have you believe. That white man went to Africa, bagged Africans. I mean, have you ever tried to bag an animal? Like these big fucking Zulu Africans are going to be bagged. And they bagged the Africans, they threw them on the ship, and they forced the Africans to row the ship. And then once they got back to the New World, they got on the auction block, they got off, they got sold, and then, Kunta Kinte got whipped at will because, he had a sadistic white master. I mean, give me a fucking break, man. I mean, you have to think. Kanye, he made a comment recently that 400 years of slavery? 400 years? That sounds to me like a choice. Folks, because, I mean, it was a choice. It was a choice. Lest we forget, okay? Who are the ones that actually brought slaves over to this part of the New World? It was Europeans, it were Spaniards, it was the Dutch. Because what they did is they would go into West Africa, and believe it or not, if you take a look at the geography of South America and West Africa, the closest tip in which you'll have the shortest journey to get from South America to West Africa is from Brazil. Now, if you take a look at the demographic of Brazil, you have a hodgepodge of different black, Latin, European, I mean, a whole bunch of different types of variant of people, because that's where the slaves came from in the beginning. That's where all slaves came from. The Spaniards traded with the African tribes. They told the African tribes, hey, look, we've got guns, we've got this, we've got medicine, and, if you give us some of your natural resource, which is your slaves, then you can control this little region for the end of time. And that's what they did. The Africans traded weaponry, medicine, European goods. And what did they have to trade? Human capital, human resource. And you see, folks, I want to be completely honest with you. I don't think that the majority of slaves or black folk in America even derive directly from Africa. Have you taken a look at black folk in America? Take a look at your average black folk in America and take a look at every distinctive African variant from Africa. They look nothing like black people in America. So what does that tell us? That tells us that possibly many of the slaves in North America, maybe some of them were black, maybe some of them were Muslim, maybe some of them were interbreeded with the Native Americans that we were fighting in trying to get this land in which they Indian gave. Y'all remember about the Indian giving story with the Potahan tribe and the Chesapeake colony. If you don't, we'll look it up for yourself. But the point I'm trying to make is that, and we're going back to these NFL, NBA players. What is the demographic of the NBA and the NFL? They're black players. Now, I'd like to ask, why are multi-million-dollar black players trying to get political when if you attempted to ask them to articulate their grievance, they wouldn't even be able to explain it to you properly. They would sputter out sentence fragments and not be able to even explain why it is that they're kneeling, why it is that they're protesting. And what I don't understand is, what else do you black people want if even at the highest levels of economic and fame, or economic success and fame, that you're still going to be bitching and moaning in this capacity? I mean, listen, I'm not trying to be racist. I'm being prejudiced. I am prejudging you people because you people are fairly consistent at this point. I mean, if you guys are bitching... Did y'all hear LeBron James yesterday when he was fucking speaking? Well, man, I didn't like how the president, he out there, he disinvited the Eagles. You know what, man? No one here. No, we don't want to go to the White House, baby. I don't want to go to no White House. You know what I mean? Nobody to win the final over here going to want to go to the White House. I mean, that's what he said. He said nobody who wins the finals is going to want to go to the White House. Why? Why? I mean, articulate your grievance, you bell pepper-nosed, receding hairline piece of shit, LeBron James. Why don't you articulate why? What is it that you hate about Trump? What is it? They're not going to tell you. You know what they're going to say? Man, police brutality, baby. Y'all ain't doing nothing about police brutality. You ain't doing nothing about all the black people that are being killed by the police, baby. You ain't doing nothing. I mean, how many black people were killed last year by cops? What was it, like 25? 25 black people. I think it was last year, right? 25, 30 people. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, because I know you black folks ain't going to, you can't talk logically with some of you ghetto-fied pieces of shit. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that all of them were the police fault. All 30 shooting. Let's just say, let's say there was 100 of them. Let's say there was 100 black folks purposely killed by police last year. Folks, that is a percentile of a fraction of how many black people have killed other black people. And what black folks don't want to come to the realization and recognize is that you're more likely to be killed by another black person than you are the police. And, for you black folks that don't believe me, why don't you go take a look at the FBI statistics? Take a look at the FBI statistics and take a look at the most violent race as far as demographic is concerned. It's the black folks. Take a look at the race that commits the most violent gun crime. It's the black folks. I mean, you all can't deny the statistics. The statistics don't lie. And until you black folks start acknowledging that you all have a serious problem in your fucking community, you're going to continue to be the fucking niggers of the liberal white elites. Did you all hear me? You're going to be the fucking house niggers of the liberal white elites, because that's exactly what you all are. You all are nothing. You all are the muscle of these weakly soy boy leftist faggots. That's why they rile you up with all this ridiculous racist this and racist that. So what if people are racist, black folk? Who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck? I mean, did racism prevent LeBron James from making $150 million? Huh? Did racism prevent any of them brothers on the Philadelphia Eagles? Did that prevent them from winning the Super Bowl? Did racism prevent the guy who created BET from creating BET? I'm just asking. Did racism, make the gangster rap movement? I mean, I'm just asking. I mean, I think what people need to understand is that there's always going to be racism, baby. There's always going to be racism. What you black folks should be concerned about is whether or not you're being subjugated based upon your race. And maybe at one time you could have probably fell on that But you can't fall on that anymore. I mean, we are in a melting pot in which anyone can be successful if you just put your fucking mind to it and make the right decisions. And you see, folks, most black folks, they don't. They don't make the right decisions. And, I mean, we can have a whole other conversation about this, but I blame black women. Because who's raising these black men that are becoming criminals and killers and prisoners? Single black women. And what do we see? Every time we see some black woman acting a fool, every time, I mean, you all know. Would you all disagree with a loud black woman? No. You want to get away from that situation. Why? Because that woman's just going to be like, oh, no, motherfucker. What, you think you better than me, cracker? You think you're better than me? And then start throwing shit, you know what I mean? Start getting violent. And who's watching that woman act a fool? Who's watching that woman act a fool and watching everybody steer away from that woman because she's acting a fool? The little boy that she's raising, that little black boy that she's raising. And then we wonder why these black men are acting like a bunch of idiots. Then we wonder why these black men are so fucking violent out here. They're looking at their mama. They're looking at their fat black mama acting a fucking fool her whole life and seeing how everybody stays away from her fat black ass whenever she gets fucking loud and rowdy and violent. That's what these black boys are learning. That's where they're learning the violence from. Black women. So, look, I don't want to get any more, I don't want to talk about that anymore. You all get where I'm coming from. I'm just saying, you guys in the NFL and the NBA, you all are making me prejudice, okay? You all are making me prejudice. You people are making hundreds of millions of dollars a year, and you're still bitching. I mean, you all have the resources and the means to help your own community. How come I don't see you motherfuckers cutting a check? You know what I see you doing? The same scam that Bill Gates is doing, that Mark Zuckerberg's doing. Oh, I got a foundation. I've got a nonprofit organization. Fuck you and your nonprofit organization. Go out, physically help somebody. If you're going to go out and stand on a virtue signaling soapbox, you NBA, NFL cocksuckers. Anyway, folks, we are now in the third and final hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. Before we get started on anything else, I'd like to remind everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire. All right? And let everybody know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house. And we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And it is ghost.report. All right? That's all you have to type in your browser. It's that simple. Ghost.report. And I love being independent. I want to be completely honest with you, folks. I would not be able to say the things that I'm saying today if I was back at the old network that I broadcasted for with all those Jewish rules. All right? I'm free now. I could say whatever the hell I want. So all you goddamn autists and all you sons of bitches that don't like it, well, then shove it up your ass. Nobody cares. I say what I want. I do what I want now. How do you like that, autists? And by the way, I want to say what's going on to everybody in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. If you want to come kick back with us in the True Capitalist Radio chat room, all you got to do, go to my Gab account right now, all right? Politics Ghost is the Gab name, Politics Ghost, and hit the subscribe button for premium content, all right? Hit the subscribe button for premium content so you can kick back with us in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. I will definitely be in there after this broadcast. So if you want to come chat with us, come on down, baby. Come on down. Anyway, man, I've been kind of long-winded, man. I've got a lot of things to cover. I hope I can cover it in this next hour, man. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about the deep state being exposed for the criminal and corrupt pieces of shit that they are. Are y'all familiar with the former deputy director of the FBI? And I'm talking about Andrew McCabe. Andrew McCabe was the former deputy director of the FBI, and he was recently let go. Do y'all remember? He's got the little hipster glasses, you know, he's a little corrupt, you know, his wife ran for office, and Terry McAuliffe gave her, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars, whatever the case might be. Anyway, Andrew McCabe looks like he may be going down because he obviously lied under oath. He obviously did some very nefarious things, and as a result, McCabe knows that his goose is cooked. So what McCabe is offering, he's offering to testify in front of Congress and give them the straight dope as long as he has immunity from prosecution. Now, give me a break. I mean, come on, McCabe. What do you think? You're Sammy the Bull? I mean, you got to give us something, baby. You got to implicate people if you want immunity, okay? You got to implicate everybody, and I don't think that you're going to do that. Yeah, folks, McCabe, the former FBI director, the former FBI deputy director, the guy under Comey, wants immunity to testify in front of Congress. Now, it doesn't seem that Congress is going to oblige this immunity call because they want to get to the bottom of this. And according to reports, if Andrew McCabe does not get immunity, he is going to go and testify in front of Congress and plead the Fifth Amendment. So, look, now it's starting to seem like some of these people may just go to jail, folks. All right? I mean, Andrew McCabe wanting immunity, that goes to show you that the implication of this guy going to jail is high. Why would he demand immunity? This guy was the former FBI deputy director. Because as I've been stating throughout this whole broadcast, that they politically weaponized, and I'm talking the highest levels of the DOJ and the FBI, they politically weaponize those institutions in an attempt to remove a duly elected president. And as days go by, we're starting to see this unraveling of corruption and criminality at the highest levels of the judicial branch be exposed to the public. Now, aside from Andrew McCabe, the former FBI deputy director, wanting immunity to testify in front of Congress in a couple of weeks, we also have the Inspector General report, who was supposed to be inspecting and investigating all the improprieties that are alleged to have happened in the DOJ and the FBI. Well, there are pages that have been leaked of this Inspector General report. Now, remember, the Inspector General has been kind of putting off the releasing of this document for the past couple of months. Now, some people have speculated is because, you know, they're protecting each other. Some people have speculated it's because the Inspector General has to add new information and new news as it pertains to the investigation, to the report, etc. But in the recent leaked IG report, it states that the FBI Director, James Comey, defied his authority as FBI Director, especially in the Clinton email case. In the Clinton email case, okay? Now, let me explain what this means, okay? Because this was a bureaucratic dance that obviously all these people were trying to, they were in on it. Now, let's go back to that infamous tarmac meeting with then Attorney General Loretta Lynch and Bill Clinton. It almost seems as if Loretta Lynch and Bill Clinton purposely had that meeting so that Loretta Lynch would have to recuse herself from the case of the Clinton email debacle and literally gave the authority to James Comey. Now, according to Rod Rosenstein's memo to the president, Comey usurped the Department of Justice by basically having that press conference in which he claimed that Hillary Clinton did nothing wrong in the email case. And this is very interesting because Rod Rosenstein specifically said that he usurped the DOJ's authority. But how and why was James Comey able to do that? He was able to do that because, remember, Loretta Lynch had said that she was going to give the decision to prosecute Hillary Clinton exclusively to the FBI, and that she was going to oblige any prosecution suggestion that the FBI would suggest. She was going to take the FBI's ruling, and she basically dusted her hands off of that particular problem. Now, according to Rod Rosenstein's memo to the president, what James Comey was supposed to do prior to that infamous press conference exonerating Hillary Clinton, he was supposed to call the Department of Justice, advising them what exactly he was going to say prior to him going out public and exonerating Hillary Clinton. Now, according to Rod Rosenstein, James Comey didn't do that. James Comey did not notify the Department of Justice, no one at the Department of Justice, prior to the press conference in which he exonerated Hillary Clinton. So that right there shows impropriety, and this is what I've been gathering from the leaked IG report that's been circulating around the underwebs, if you will. Now, this IG report, once again, is implicating, James Comey, who defied his authority in relation to this Clinton email case. It's also critical, I should say, of Loretta Lynch's role in this whole Clinton email scandal. And what the IG report is going to show is that each and every one of these people did not act in accordance of the law when trying to investigate the Clinton email scandal. So, I mean, this looks pretty damning on James Comey, on Loretta Lynch, on Andrew McCabe. I mean, it almost looks like these people may go to jail, folks. I mean, there is actual evidence of these people lying under oath, because lest we forget, okay, James Comey also lied under oath. He claimed that he never gave any classified information and leaked it to the press when he wrote about it in his fucking book. So he's already got a perjury charge going on. You've got Andrew McCabe, which was, the deputy director, which was under Comey, wanting immunity to testify. And I'd like to know what Andrew McCabe is going to testify to if he gets immunity, man. I mean, that's what I'd like to know. Are you going to spill the beans? Are you going to tell us exactly what the hell happened in this whole cabal of corruption and conspiracy? Because that's what it was at the highest levels of the judicial branch. It was a conspiracy to remove a duly elected president. And that's why they went through these bureaucratic channels and made it confusing with legalese in an attempt to try to convince the American public to remove Donald Trump from office. And then you combine that with everything else. I mean, you combine this with the Russian dossier, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, the Oars from the Department of Justice, Fusion GPS, Glenn Simpson, Christopher Steele. All these characters that are involved in this conspiracy in an attempt to remove a duly elected president, man. You combine what McCabe knows, what Comey has done, you combine all this. I'm telling you, it's going to lead right up to the top, and it's going to lead up to Obama. And I can't fucking wait. And let me tell you something else. Don't think that this FBI, DOJ conspiracy is just exclusive to the Democrats. I personally believe that establishment Republicans were also involved in this grand conspiracy to remove Trump. Let's take case in point, fucking Paul Ryan and his backstabbing ass. Now, I don't know if y'all are familiar, folks, but last week, Trey Gowdy, this doll-hair piece of incompetent crap, who botched the Benghazi hearings and allowed goddamn Hillary Clinton to get away with fucking murder. Trey Gowdy came out last week and said, well, I think Donald Trump is overestimating the facts when he said that there were people spying in his campaign. And what Gowdy said, this is exactly what he said. The evidence that I was shown, it didn't show any spying in the campaign. Now, sure, there were two people connected to the 2016 campaign that happened to be working for the FBI, but they weren't spying on the campaign. They were actually protecting the campaign from Russia influence. I mean, give me a fucking break, man. And, of course, Trey Gowdy, this scumbag, isn't running for re-election anymore. I wonder why. And then you've got Paul Ryan and his fucking stupid ass coming out and publicly siding with Trey Gowdy, claiming that Spygate is not entirely what the president is suggesting, and that he's siding with Trey Gowdy on Spygate. Now, why is Paul Ryan siding with Trey Gowdy on Spygate when we all know that the FBI had informants, and this is before the investigation into Russia-Trump. Remember, the Russia-Trump investigation happened in July of 2016. That's when the formal investigation was happening, supposedly. That's when the FISA warrant got granted, etc. But according to reports, there were agents that were connected with the Trump campaign prior to the actual investigation of Russia-Trump. So what does that mention? What does that suggest to anybody? That they were trying to set up Donald Trump. They had two agents integrated with the 2016 Trump campaign. I mean, what the hell were FBI agents doing in there? Now, why is Paul Ryan siding with Gowdy? Well, let's take a look at Paul Ryan. First of all, lest we forget that during the time of the discombobulated 2016 quest for delegates. Y'all remember that? Remember, the Republican Party tried to tell us that, well, you know, the primaries really don't mean anything. It's us delegates who choose who runs for our party for president. Y'all remember when Paul Ryan tried to usurp in a small and in a ridiculously incompetent capacity? He tried to usurp, like, influence in the Republican Party, and then tried to actually see if he could throw his hat in to take over the nomination for president. Y'all remember that shit? I remember it. I covered it. He put out this stupid video with, you know, him and a bunch of young people, and, hey, we need to come to a common ground. And we need to bring country together. And all this shit, everybody thumbs down it. Nobody gave a crap. Anyway, y'all remember when he tried to take the nomination from Trump. He tried to do it, and it didn't work. Now, lest we forget, folks, that Reince Priebus was the GOP chair. He was that chairman of the Republican Party. Now, who became chief of staff for a small brief of time during the initial Trump presidency? Reince Priebus. Now, what did I tell you about Reince Priebus? Reince Priebus. Remember this at the time? Remember the early 2016? I said Reince Priebus and Paul Ryan are both from Wisconsin. They're a part of the Cheesehead Mafia. Remember when I said the Cheesehead Mafia? Well, folks, I believe, and I have evidence, you know, and I'm not going to show it because it probably would implicate me being involved with having illegal classified material. But either way, I know for a fact. Let's just put it this way. In my opinion, let's put it that way, okay? Let's make it legally viable. In my opinion, I think that Paul Ryan, as well as the Democrats, as well as all the other Republicans that are not running for re-election, had something to do with politicizing the FBI and the DOJ in an attempt to remove Trump from power. And that's why you don't have Paul Ryan running for re-election. That's why you don't have Trey Gowdy running for re-election. I mean, all the people that were anti-Trump, you notice that they're not running for re-election. I mean, Jeff Flake out of goddamn Arizona. John McCain, he's on his way out with a goddamn brain tumor. Corker, Bob Corker. I mean, all these people, they're all not running for re-election. Why? Because they hate Trump? Man, bullshit. They're politicians. I mean, they'll work with anything. No, I'll tell you why. because these people probably are connected to this grand conspiracy that reaches at the top levels of the DOJ and the FBI. I mean, lest we forget, it was John McCain that delivered the Russian dossier to the Senate. Do y'all remember that? Now, where the hell did John McCain get this damn dossier? I'm telling you, folks, that's why Paul Ryan is coming out publicly and saying that he sides with Trey Gowdy on Trump's Spygate. Are we all? This all makes sense, doesn't it? It all makes sense. He secretly tried to usurp the 2016 presidential nomination from Trump back in 2016. Now that Trump's the president, and now that Trump is trying to air out the corruption and the criminality in the swamp, you've got all these congressmen and all these people not running for re-election. And I think, if you want my opinion, folks, it's going to come out that Reince Priebus was the FBI mole in the goddamn Trump campaign, and he continued up until he was let go as the chief of staff in the Trump administration. And let me tell you, he is but one of the FBI informants. Now, where would he get the chance to talk to the FBI, Reince Priebus? Well, lest we forget that when the Democratic emails started getting leaked on WikiLeaks, remember, Reince Priebus was on all the Sunday shows saying that once they heard that the Democratic Party was hacked, they brought in the FBI to investigate whether or not there was anything hacked from the Republican Party, etc. That is where Reince Priebus could have turn rogue, turn FBI agent, turn FBI informant. And you can find that interview with him in those Sunday shows, him talking about how he, being the chairman of the Republican Party, allowed the FBI to investigate and inspect the server systems of the Republican Party. And according to Reince, whatever his fucking name is, there was no hacking of the Republican servers. So, folks, this is all starting to make sense, isn't it? And I kept telling you guys that it's Trump against the world, man. Trump against his own establishment in his own party, against the Democrats, the deep state, the fucking the weaponized media, the deep state. I mean, I can go on and on, man. It's just, once again, folks, Paul Ryan comes out publicly siding with Gowdy, and we all know why he's siding with Gowdy. Both these guys are not running for re-election. Both of them are trying to save their own asses, if you want my opinion. I don't think that they want their names affiliated with what the hell is coming to light. And that's why I would be interested, going back to Andrew McCabe, I'd be interested in hearing what the hell he's got to say. I mean, if he can implicate Reince Priebus and a Paul Ryan and other characters that are conveniently not running for office anymore, that blows a whole new lid on everything, folks. It shows that Washington, D.C., as I've stated time and time again, is the equivalent of a criminal organization. Fucking Paul Ryan, man. I'm glad you're not running for re-election. You're a piece of trash. And by the way, folks, why did Mitt Romney choose Paul Ryan as his running mate when he ran for president in 2012? Because Paul Ryan's brother Toby worked for who? Bain Capital. And him and Romney were best buds, so yeah. I mean, that's how it works. That's how it all fucking works, man. I'm telling you, man, I'm glad that Paul Ryan is no longer going to be a part of politics. He's a piece of trash. He was a big nothing burger as it relates to his him being Speaker of the House. He basically gave into everything Obama wanted during his tenure as Speaker of the House. And then when Trump came in and tried to implement his Make America Great Again policies, you know, this guy was a completely leaderless, dickless asshole. So anyway, once again, I hope everybody understands that Reince Priebus, in my opinion, was the FBI informant. And remember, he and Paul Ryan were the Cheesehead Mafia trying to trying to take down Trump. I remember I talked about this in early 2016. You can go back to the old archives at blogtalkradio.com/ghost and listen to those old archives in 2016. I talked about this, man. Anyway, let's move on, folks. We're running out of time here. Did y'all hear that the Obama administration allowed Iran access to the United States financial system? I mean, man, when are these people going to get prosecuted, man? I mean, isn't this high treason? Obama, according to a report that was culminated by a Senate panel, the Obama administration allowed Iran to access the United States financial system by allowing them to convert $6 billion of their assets into United States currency notes. Now, the only reason this did not happen is because the two banks that were told by the administration to convert these assets into U.S. dollars just did not do it. They didn't do it. And the reason they didn't do it was because they were afraid that if they converted $6 billion of Iranian assets, that at some point their institution could be implicated for breaking sanctions or potentially breaking U.S. law, so they didn't do it. But folks, what is it with the Obama administration, the EU, and Iran? I keep telling you, folks, that this Iran nuke deal was not... I don't think it has anything to do with nuclear weapons. I think that the Obama administration paid Iran off because Iran knows something and has evidence of something that could implicate not just the Obama administration, but the globalists that are involved with the EU of some nefarious activity in relation to their Middle Eastern policy. I mean, lest we forget, Iran's got agents everywhere, man. I mean, that's what they're good at. They're good at funding militia groups, terrorist organizations. They're good at gaining intelligence in the Middle East, etc. And if you want my opinion, I think that the intelligence agencies of Iran have got evidence of Obama and the EU purposely trying to cause unrest in the Middle East, to cause the crisis of the refugee crisis that you see before us. I mean, it only makes sense, folks, because lest we forget, what was the policies of the Middle East for Obama and the EU? I mean, take a look at who they took out. Let's talk about the Iraq War, which is what supposedly Obama inherited. Obama said, we're pulling out of Iraq, we're pulling out of there, we're getting out of here. Which, of course, not only caused a vacuum of terrorism and power grabbing, but what happened thereafter? The Arab Spring happened. And Obama and the EU embraced the radical factions of the Arab Spring. I mean, lest we forget, Egypt's Mubarak was overthrown by help from the EU and the United States. And like I said, it was a fucking Google executive that worked for the CIA named Wael Ghanem. I tweeted at this bastard every day during the fucking Egyptian revolution, calling him out, saying that you're a fucking agent, you're a provocateur, you're a piece of shit, and he wouldn't say a goddamn thing to me on Twitter. But Wael Ghanem was a Google executive and a CIA operative. And what happened? Well, Mubarak, even though he was somewhat of a dictator, he was incrementally bringing in capitalism into Egypt. So that meant that people in Egypt were actually making a few bucks, and as a result, they were buying first world communication technology when they were just emerging out of a third world mentality. So what does that mean? That means they got first world communication. They got computers, they got cell phones, and this was at the beginning of social media. So what happened is because these phones and a lot of these computers had Twitter bundled up to it or Facebook, all these Egyptians got on social media and they were following Wael Ghanem, they were following other type of Egyptian personalities, and what these Egyptian personalities did was agitate and tell these people, remember, they're using first world communication technology to a third world primitive demographic. They told all these people, hey, come on, we're going to Tahrir Square. We're going to Tahrir Square. We're going to protest Mubarak. Come along, everybody. Come along, everybody, come along. We're going to Tahrir Square. And they went out and did it like a bunch of idiots, like a bunch of wild, primitive, third world, 12th century thinking Yehudis. They listened to Wael Ghanem. They listened to those calls on Twitter, and they went to Tahrir Square. And what they wanted to do is force the police to implement violence on those that were protesting in Tahrir Square, so it would cause the military to take control of the government. And once that's exactly what happened, once that actually happened, what did the Obama administration and the EU do? They embraced the Muslim Brotherhood as a legitimate government right after the overthrow of Mubarak. Now, luckily, General Sisi of the military saw through this ridiculous, disgusting, pathetic Islamization of his fucking country, that he decided to take it upon himself to take control of the government through military junta, round up all the Muslim Brotherhood that were in parliament, purge those sons of bitches, and then arrest the leader of the first government after the overthrow of Mubarak, Mohammed Morsi, threw him in jail as well. And to this day, General Sisi is in control of Egypt. Now, why did General Sisi overthrow the Muslim Brotherhood? Well, because, folks, Mohammed Morsi, the leader at the time of Egypt post-Mubarak, was communicating with al-Zawahiri. Al-Zawahiri is the old guy with the dot on his head that used to come out with Osama bin Laden all the time. You know, the old guy with the camera, with the canvas background, and he's got a Kalashnikov leaning against the canvas, and all this crap. He's like the leader of Al Qaeda right now if he's still alive. Well, the military of Egypt, under the tutelage of General Sisi, ended up intercepting a communication, a phone call between Mohammed Morsi and Zawahiri. And yet, Mohammed Morsi and the Muslim Brotherhood were working with Obama and the EU. That's not the only country. Remember, folks, Libya was another country. And the EU took a big, huge part in the air bombing of that particular country. And what the United States did was used what would end up becoming ISIS to take control of the Libyan ground forces. So let's get this straight. What did I just talk about? Iraq. Who used to lead Iraq? Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein was a Ba'athist. That's what his party was. That's what his political party was. He was a Ba'athist. That means he was not an Islamic wild Yehudi. He was a secularist leader. He was a secularist leader. We talk about Egypt's Mubarak. The same thing. He was not an Islamic fanatic. He was a secularist leader. And he was taken out by the same factions that took out Saddam, taken out by the EU, taken out by the United States under the Obama administration. Take a look at Libya. Another secularist leader in Muammar Gaddafi. Jesus Christ, all these Yehudis, man. But seriously, Muammar Gaddafi was a secularist and he was a socialist on top of that, folks. So why am I bringing up all this? That the EU and Obama, for whatever reason, wanted to bring down all the secularist leaders in the Middle East. And lest we forget, they tried to bring down Bashar al-Assad in Syria, but they couldn't. He's a survivor out there, boy. I mean, I gotta hand it to Bashar al-Assad. He's a definite survivor. And once again, Bashar al-Assad, another Ba'athist, another secularist leader. Now, why is it that Obama and the EU would want to take out all these secularist leaders which are throwing an iron fist over the Middle East? Because, folks, these idiots knew that once you took out the secularist governments, that these factions of Muslims would go berserk. They would go back to tribal mentality. It would be the Shia versus the Sunnis versus the Kurds. They knew this was going to happen. And everyone knows whenever there's warfare, whenever there's any kind of skirmish of this capacity, you're going to have a refugee crisis. And because you have a humongous population in the Islamic community, I mean, there are over 1.3 billion Muslims in this fucking world. 1.3 billion Muslims. So if you have a refugee crisis in Egypt, if you have a refugee crisis in Libya, if you have a refugee crisis in Iraq, you got a refugee crisis in Syria, which goes into North Africa, that's millions upon millions of people displaced. Now, once again, folks, why would the EU and Obama want all these millions of people displaced? Take a look at what's happening to the European Union right now. Take a look at all the member states that are a part of the European Union. And they're being ethnically cleansed. They're being ethnically cleansed, man. And why is the European Union doing this? Because they're communists, folks. They want to eliminate any form of nationalism, culturalism. They're trying to create a whole new European superstate. This is communism, man. Because only communists would think of this supreme centralization of management in which you would want to ethnically cleanse a people. I mean, come on, man. I mean, let's be honest. And I'm thinking, folks, in my personal opinion, that that's why Obama and all his administration, the EU, they are sucking Iran's cock. They're sucking Iran's cock, and there's no other reason other than what I am suggesting is that Iran has got some intelligence that implicates Obama and the EU for causing this refugee crisis, for causing the destabilization in the Middle East, for causing all this shit. And if Iran has intelligence of this capacity, I would strongly advise them to stop fucking around with us and give us the information, and maybe we'll let you live. Maybe we'll let you live, Ayatollah. I mean, take a look at the deal we're making with little Kim over there in North Korea. He's not stupid. You idiot Iranians, y'all better start taking your heads out of your ass. If you know something about the high treason of Obama and the EU, well, then present it to the world. I mean, I'm serious, folks. I mean, going back to what caused this soliloquy, Obama administration allowing Iran access to the U.S. financial system. I mean, you combine this with the fact that, remember, Obama administration, they called off a federal investigation into the Hezbollah network in the United States. Y'all remember that? Look it up. Google it up for yourself. Obama's administration purposely called off a federal investigation that was investigating the Hezbollah network in the United States that was using used cars as a means to funnel money back to Hezbollah in Lebanon. Now, why would the Obama administration stop a federal investigation and the potential arrest of these leaders, a part of this Hezbollah network? Why would he call off that investigation if Iran has something over this idiot? I'm telling you, folks, I think that this damn Iran nuke deal was a payoff. And I think people need to start opening their eyes and realizing that's exactly what it was. And I would like to know what the fuck Iran knows about the EU, what the fuck Iran knows about the Obama administration, because it's obviously something big for these people to be groveling to Iran like this. Yeah, look it up. Obama called off a federal investigation into the Hezbollah network in the U.S., not in Lebanon, inside our country. He called off an investigation by the federal government. And why did he do that? I don't know, but it's starting to make sense now, isn't it? And speaking of the EU, did you hear that the EU is asking the United States to exempt itself from the Iranian sanctions? I mean, what the fuck kind of cuckery is this? I mean, you understand, folks, that the United States has put big-time sanctions on Iran. And we've promised, the United States has promised to punish anybody who does business with Iran at this point. And now you've got the European Union wanting an exemption from those sanctions from Iran, folks? I mean, once again, what does Iran have over these people? What does Iran have over these fuckers, man? I mean, why would the European Union ask for an exemption from a sanction from Iran? I'll tell you why. Remember we were talking about last week that Iran was demanding demanding something from the EU if they decided that they want to sustain the continuity of this Iran nuke deal. And one of the things that Iran wanted the EU to do was purchase the amount of goods that were sanctioned by the United States. So by the EU asking for an exemption from these sanctions from Iran, that means that the EU actually wants to continue this goddamn nuke deal. And they're willing to purchase what is being offset by United States sanctions. And that's why the EU wants an exemption from the sanctions of Iran. I mean, can you believe this? Can you all believe this shit? I mean, that's why I keep asking, what does Iran have over the Obama administration and the EU? What? What is this shit? And by the way, Iran just recently said that it's going to resume its nuclear enrichment. Okay? So they already said they're going to resume the nuclear enrichment because the Iran nuke deal is no longer valid because the United States ripped it up. Even though they've got 200, 300, 400 billion, we don't even know how many billions, hundreds of billions they received from the Obama administration. But yeah, once again, the EU wants to ask for an exemption from sanctions on Iran. They want to continue to do business with Iran, folks. They want to sustain the Iranian nuke deal. Why? Why? It doesn't make sense. This shit doesn't make sense, does it? What the fuck does Iran have over the Obama administration and the EU? I want to know, man. And by the way, Bibsy, Benjamin Netanyahu, is over there in Europe trying to convince the European Union to not oblige the Iranian nuke deal. He's trying to tell them, fuck the Iranian nuke deal, but look at these Eurocucks, man. They want an exemption from the sanctions on Iran, man. Unfucking believable. And you know what the EU is claiming this is a move for? It's, quote, national security purposes. I mean, what a fucking bunch of cucks, man. You know, that was a bitch move. That's a bitch move by the goddamn Eurocucks. You know it and I know it.
Oh, it's national security. That's why we have to have the exemption from the sanctions from Iran.
Fucking Eurocucks, man. You make me sick. You know that? And as far as I'm concerned, I don't really give a shit if we're friends with the European Union or not anymore, man. These people are arrogant pieces of socialist trash. And to be honest with you, I don't want them to be our allies. I think we need to withdraw from NATO. We don't need to be fucking helping these pieces of garbage. They are fucking ungrateful, arrogant, socialist trash. And I'm tired of them, man. I'm sick and tired of the European Union, all right? Hey, if you happen to be a part of the European Parliament, you're a piece of shit, a waste of life. Why you even exist is beyond me. You're oppressing a whole continent of people that don't want you to be in charge. I'm sick and tired of these EU pricks. Anyway, once again, folks, the EU wants an exemption from the sanctions on Iran so they can do business with Iran, so they can continue the nuclear deal, yada, yada, yada. Give me a fucking break. I can't believe this, man. And folks, what's up with you citizens in the EU? Y'all are just going to sit there and continue to drink and do drugs and fuck and what? What do you think's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen? You're already getting cucked by a bunch of Yehudis that are invading your country. And you know the bad part about this whole refugee situation is? You socialist Eurocucks, you opened your arms with open arms, accepting these Yehudis into your country, and now they're systematically taking it over, and all you're doing is behind a lampshade, waxing your carrot, while your goddamn women are being raped by these fucking greasy Yehudis. So, you know, I don't really give a shit if we're cool with the EU or not anymore. They're pieces of trash. They're pieces of garbage. Anyway, folks, I want to talk lastly, since we're at the end of the show, about tariffs. I'm sick and tired of hearing people say that, oh, Trump's going to cause a trade war and it's going to be bad for America. How is it going to be bad for America? Can somebody explain this to me? How is... And listen, all Trump did was raise a tariff on two commodities, steel and aluminum. And the arrogance of these fucking countries to suggest to us that we have no right to renegotiate our own trade deals, that we have no right to be putting any kind of tariffs on steel or aluminum. The arrogance of these assholes, man. What makes these arrogant pricks think that we're going to indefinitely just continuously give you our money, continuously put more money on our debt account so that we can give it to you so you can build your little pissing ground socialist playground? I mean, I'm sick and tired of this. The renegotiation of these trade deals are showing who our allies really are and who they aren't. I mean, did you hear Mexico? Oh yeah, you think you're bad, United States? Well, we are going to put tariffs on your whiskey. We are going to put tariffs on this. Who gives a fuck, Mexico? We've got $100 billion annual trade deficit with you stupid idiots. I mean, can somebody explain to these stupid morons that because we hold the debt in the goddamn trade deal, that the leverage is all on our side, and that if you're going to play hardball with us, all we have to do is say, you know what, fuck you, we're taking our $100 billion that we would send to your shithole country this year, and we're going to keep it here in America. Or you know what, we're going to go shop in the international community for a country that's going to appreciate our $100 billion. I mean, I just can't believe this, man. Did you hear fucking Canada and fucking Justin Trudeau?
This tariff is unacceptable. It is unacceptable and it is insulting.
Fucking blow it out your ass, fucking Trudeau, you cuckosaurus rex. Give me a fucking break. You want to know what's insulting, Trudeau? You turning Canada into Canadistan and allowing these Yehudis and ex-ISIS fighters and ex-Al-Qaeda fighters to come into your country and turn it into goddamn Pakistan. That's what the fuck is insulting, Trudeau. What's insulting is that you sold all your country's gold reserves so you can fund this ridiculous immigration experiment. And now that you sold all your gold and you're paying for this pissing ground immigration experiment, now we kind of got you Canadians by the balls now, do we? Now, you Canadians better get off your goddamn moose antler and better start realizing that we hold the cards in this fucking game. And we don't have to do business with you Canadian bacon butt lovers. If you don't like it, then go fuck off. More money circulating in the United States. I mean, what do these people think? How do these people think that they have leverage on us? We're the ones giving them the money. I just don't understand how these people think they got leverage on us. I mean, worst case scenario, folks, okay? Worst fucking case. That Mexico doesn't want to trade with us anymore. Canada doesn't want to trade with us anymore. China doesn't want to trade with us anymore. You know how much that fucking money is? That's almost $1 trillion in trade deficits that are now going to be circulating here in America. You know? That's almost $1 trillion in deficits that would have gone to Mexico and to Canada and to China. But instead, you know what? If these people don't want to play ball, we'll keep it here in this country. And then we'll go to other countries that want to be manufacturing hubs of the world. And we'll make another country. We'll make another country prosperous, just like we've done to China, just like we've done to Mexico, just like we've done to all of our trading partners, folks. All of our trading partners, at least good 90% of them, we have a deficit. We have a deficit. And it's a tremendous deficit on an annual basis. And you know something? I'm so glad that this president is in power today. Because, folks, for 10 years, I've been on this broadcast saying that we have to go back to the negotiating table for each and every one of these trade deals. And that America didn't produce anything anymore. I remember during the Obama administration, I would say that the only thing that America produces is cheeseburgers and entertainment. That's a lot different in the Trump administration, isn't it, folks? And that's why, even amidst all this tariff war talk, you have optimism in Wall Street. Why? Because the numbers don't lie, folks. You know, right now in Trump's America, there are more jobs open for employment than there are people looking for employment today. Can you believe that shit? I can't believe it. That's why all you stupid bums out there that are claiming that there's no jobs, you're just a fucking lazy faggot. Yeah, I'm not joking. There are more jobs open, available today, than there are people looking for jobs. This is the type of Trump America that we're living in, folks. It's a great time to be a capitalist. And that's why I am conducting this broadcast in hopes of making capitalists out of each and every one of you. And it doesn't matter what part of the country, it doesn't matter what part of the world you live in. If you want to be a capitalist, well then by God, give you capitalism or give you death. And as I've stated, that capitalism is the essence of freedom. It is the essence of freedom. I'm sick and tired of these communists and these socialists that try to claim that capitalism is exploitation, quote unquote. There's no exploitation in capitalism. Folks, in capitalism, you as a laborer can go and solicit your labor to an employer. And you as a laborer can accept the wages that that employer is paying for your labor or not. And you know something, folks? If you don't accept the wages, you can go away and try to find somebody else that'll pay you the wage. But under socialism and communism, folks, that's not how it works. Under socialism and communism, if the government tells you to do a job and you don't want to do it, then you'll either be thrown in a re-education camp or executed. So I ask you, what's exploitive? What's more exploitive? Your freedom to sell your labor to whoever wants to pay you the price you're willing to accept, or being forced by a government central planner to do a job, or you're going to get killed or thrown in a re-education camp if you don't do it. And that's why I can't stand these liars out here that try to claim that, oh, capitalism is exploitive. It is the essence of freedom. It is a mutual understanding. Capitalism is a mutual agreement. You're not going to get killed if you don't accept an employer's pay wage. You're not going to be thrown into a re-education camp if you refuse an employer's pay wage, or even if you quit a job. Let's say you get a job, you don't like it, you quit. You don't get thrown in a re-education camp. You don't get executed. And that's why we have to stop these communists and socialists from spreading these lies about capitalism. Capitalism is the essence of freedom, folks. And I'm telling you this from firsthand experience. If I'd been born in a socialist or communist society, I'd have been a loser my whole fucking life. I would have had no opportunity. I would have not known what to do. But folks, under capitalism, Capitalism gives you the opportunity to do something with your life. And there's so many opportunities for you to do something. All you have to do is take the initiative to do it. That's why I keep telling each and every one of you that the difference between capitalists and those that are just regular schmucks on the street is that regular schmucks on the street are waiting for things to happen to them. They're waiting for things to happen to them. While us capitalists are going out and we're making things happen. We're making things happen. And folks, I promise you, with capitalism, you can carve out whatever it is that you want your life to be. But you have to go out and manifest it into reality. You have to go out and do it. Because it's not going to happen to you. I mean, once again, you're not given a living. You earn a living. Once again, freedom isn't given. It's taken. And that's why, folks, sure, there's an element of danger when it comes to being free. You see all these, violence. You see all this, violent schools, gun violence, etc. Folks, it's that violence that sets us apart from the rest of the world. It's that violence that has everyone in the world fearing Americans. Even our government. And folks, it was Thomas Jefferson, one of our forefathers, that said, if our government fears the people, then we are truly in freedom. But if our people fear the government, then we are in tyranny. And folks, that's why you have so many people in the institutional government trying to use every propaganda means necessary, trying to take away our God-given Second Amendment rights. Because they know that the United States and the will of the people of the United States far supersedes whatever the fucking government can throw on us in a totalitarian capacity. They have to disarm us so they can treat us like the Eurocucks in the EU. They have to disarm us so they can treat us like the UK. They've got to disarm us so that they can throw these totalitarian rules on us so we turn into something equivalent of Demolition Man. And we need this violence. The American violence. We were built on violence. And it's that violence, folks, that keeps everybody in the world fearing America. Because we're not afraid to die. And how does it prove that we're not afraid to die? We created this country. And I love this country, and I will die for this country, and I will die for capitalism. I will die for freedom. Because if we do nothing, we are nothing. Even the Supreme Court ruled that silence is consent. So if you're going to sit there on the sidelines, not doing a goddamn thing, then you are consenting to the totalitarianism that these governments are trying to implement on us. Then you are okay with this globalist specter that's trying to creep up and usurp our nationalism. I'm telling you, we're winning, folks. Our side, the capitalists, we are winning. I saw Jacob Rothschild in an article just about the day before yesterday. The article was titled, Donald Trump Destroying the New World Order. Jacob Rothschild. We're winning, folks. But those of us that are politically aware, we have to use our effort and energy to make others politically aware, to make others politically serious. Because we're in serious times, damn it! We're in serious times, and serious times calls for serious people. And I'm calling on all of you, Americans. Remember, this is a government made for the people and by the people. And your participation is needed. Is needed. And I'm begging each and every one of you within the sound of my voice, if you're an American, then we can't stay silent. Go out and practice your Second Amendment. Get as many guns as you possibly can. Because this government ain't going to protect you. You have to protect yourself. And that is an element of freedom. Freedom was never meant to be safe. But with freedom, you at least have the opportunity and the chance to protect yourself. And that's why you have all these people all over the world relinquishing their rights and freedoms for the sake of security. But you're never going to be secure. Never. If you think that the government is going to save you from every little danger that could potentially jeopardize your mortality. I mean, it's the biggest scam of all time. I said this, I believe, on the last show. It was Thomas Hobbes in the book Leviathan, in which he justifies the monarch divine right because the divine right keeps people safe. And safety means more to the average person than anything else. But you people need to realize that our freedom isn't based on safety. Our freedom is based on individualism. It's based on the ability to protect oneself, one's family, one's community. We're not meant to be safe here. We're meant to be free. And if you die in pursuance or in basking in your freedom, well, then that's a hell of a lot better than dying in some goddamn concentration camp or some fucking re-education camp or being executed by a commie because you don't want to do the job they're forcing you to do. Anyway, folks, we are at the end of the broadcast. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. I'm sorry I went long-winded on a couple of these issues here, but we have to talk about these issues, man. We have to discuss these issues, and I have to amplify the facts and the fucking truth. The truth! I got to amplify this as much as I possibly can. Now, folks, I'm going to be back on Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am going to release, as a matter of fact, I'm going to release information on how all of you people that keep crying about radio graffiti, how you can bring it back. All right? Now, if you want to bring it back, that's up to you. Okay? Now, and another thing, I hate watching these comments on YouTube by a bunch of useless waste of life autists that are claiming, oh, look, Ghost is trying to get shekels to bring back radio graffiti. Hey, asshole. I'm not getting paid dick for this broadcast anymore, first of all, okay? And secondly, I don't hear you fucking autists complaining when you're donating for a barnyard orgy or when you're donating $15,000 for fake Szechuan sauce or any other autistic horse shit. So, if radio graffiti is that important to you people, well then, you'll bring it back. You'll put your fucking money where your autistic mouth is, and you'll bring it back. All right? I mean, that's how the world works. You don't just get what you want just because you say you want it. You've got to go and get what you want. And that's what capitalists do. Capitalists go out and they get what they want. They make things happen. So this is a lesson to all of you autists, all you aspies, and all you tards that want radio graffiti back. You want something, you've got to make it happen. You've got to make it happen. You've got to act like a capitalist and say, all right, guys, look, Ghost is right. He isn't getting paid dick for this shit, and every time we called him on radio graffiti, he fucking gets pissed off. You know, I mean, he used a lot of effort, a lot of energy, 3 hours, all this shit. All right, let's bring it back, fellas. Let's do what we have to do to bring it back. I'm just saying, man, I'm not getting paid dick for this broadcast. I'm just saying, all right? Anyway, I'm going to be in the chat room, in the True Capitalist Radio chat room here in about 25 minutes. All right, so if you want to come along and chill with us and be in the True Capitalist Radio chat room, all you've got to do right now, all right? All you got to do right now is go to my Gab account right now, Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores, Politics Ghost, and hit the subscribe button for premium content, all right? Hit the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do, go ahead and private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name so I can give you a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio broadcast chat room, baby, all right? All right, it's that simple. It's that simple. So if you want to join us, come back, go to the Gab account, Politics Ghost, and hit the subscribe button. Then private message me on Gab, and we'll invite you to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that simple, all right? It's that damn simple. Anyway, folks, got my freaking production notes here. I got what's left of Love on the Rocks. And I want to thank each and every one of you for listening, okay? This is literally the underground of the internet, folks. If you're listening to the sound of my voice, you are listening to the capitalist underground. That's why they've been trying to silence me for years. That's why they've been trying to stop me. But I will not be stopped. Didn't I tell you folks that? I don't care what they try to do. I will not be stopped. I'm a capitalist, and give me capitalism or give me death. I will not stop. I want to spread the idea of capitalism throughout the world. And that's what I'm listening to. I'm listening to worldwide. And I hope that I inspire each and every one of you to become capitalists. Because as I stated, capitalism is the essence of freedom. And you've got to take it. You've got to take freedom. No one's going to give you freedom. You've got to take it. And sometimes you've got to sacrifice yourself. You've got to live beyond yourself so that we can manifest it into reality. Anyway, I'm getting the hell out of here. All right? Y'all better be here this Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for the next live broadcast. Man, what a show, baby. What a show. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in with me. I will see you on Friday, 6:30 p.m. And let's just see if these people bring Radio Graffiti back. All right, let's just see. All right? Hey, and by the way, nah, never mind. I don't want to go. I'll go off on a 20-minute soliloquy, and I don't want to do that now. So anyway, I'll tell you guys on Friday. Anyway, cheers. Long live the capitalist army, and death to feminism, death to socialism, and death to communism, baby. I'm out of here. Be here this Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is episode number 576, and the date today is June 6, 2018. I'm out of here, boy. Be here Friday, you piece of crap.